Testing. Can y'all hear me? The camera's not working today, guys, just so you know. But if you can hear me, I'll do this as a radio program today. Just in the chat. If you can hear me, go ahead and just let me know. Can you guys hear me right now? Bryce, can you hear me? I can see your comment. I don't know why my camera's not working. I might just have to go ahead and can you hear me, guys? Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. This is a special radio program this morning. I'm not able to get my camera to work. So if you guys are able to hear me, I'll go ahead and do my spiel. Fiercey, you're talking about Dimwitty? Tell me about whether you can hear me right now. Can you hear me? You can see me too? Okay, I don't understand what's going on. Cam is working, but I can't see myself. So I'm gonna be going blind against not being able to see me. Hi guys. I can see I can see you. I can't see you though. So this will be very weird, but we'll go ahead and do the stream. Good morning, Raptors freaks. Lexiot's here. Lots of technical difficulties getting the camera hooked up this morning. I don't understand why. I have no idea what I look like on the camera, so I don't know if the frame's right. It probably looks just like it normally does, so we'll just go ahead and go with it. I don't know what's going on with it. All right, let's do the injuries first of all. Raptors have listed Scotty Barnes, Jakob Poeltl, Chris Boucher, RJ Barrett. Emmanuel Quickley will not play today. He will not return today. Jonte Porter has already been ruled out for today's game also due to personal reasons. It's not even he's sick at this point. It's a personal reason he's missing games. DJ Carton also out. Now, yesterday, there was a little bit of a movement with the Raptors as far as their roster. We did not re-sign Jahmi'us Ramsey to another 10-day contract. Instead, we turned around and we signed Raptors 905 Kobe Simmons to a 10-day contract. So Kobe Simmons is now on the Raptors as of yesterday, and we should expect him to play tonight, honestly. So we're giving another tryout to another guy from the 905 that deserves a tryout, just like Mohamedou, just like JFL. Well, it's Kobe Simmons' time. He did do some amazing things on the G League, and he's getting his chance. And, well, we're going to get to see Kobe Simmons playing for us tonight. He's a scorer, one of the best scorers in the G League, to be honest. On Brooklyn's side of things, there are some injuries, so there is quite a list here also for them. Dariq Whitehead had a successful season-ending surgery on his left shin, stress reaction quite a while ago, and he's going to be out for a bit. Ben Simmons is shut down for the season with a successful microscopic partial discectomy, whatever the fuck that is. He will make a full recovery, but for training camp next season. So no Ben Simmons tonight. Keon Johnson is available for, well, wait, that doesn't say. Keon Johnson, maybe he's day-to-day. All right. Now, for tonight, these are big ones. Cam Johnson ruled out for the game against the Raptors with a left big toe strain. Keita Bates-Diop has been ruled out also due to a right shin stress reaction. And Dennis Smith Jr. ruled out for the game today against Toronto due to a right hip synovitis. Synovitis. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Some of this stuff, man, there's a lot of stress reactions going on in Brooklyn right now. They have lost 6 games in a row. We've lost 10. So something's got to give. Somebody's going to win a game today. And is it going to be the end of the Raptors losing streak, or is it going to be the end of the Brooklyn Nets losing streak? And one of them is going to have to win today. So somebody going to end their streak. Their starting lineup, of course, is the guy from our team from before. Dennis Schroeder is the starting point guard right now for the Nets. Cam Thomas, Mikal Bridges, Nicholas Claxton, Lonnie Walker the fourth, Jalen Wilson, the rookie from Kansas, buddies with Grady Dick. There is a good high probability that there may be a Jayhawk shootout between Grady and Jalen. Those guys are best friends, and there may be a lot of joy on the court between Wilson and Dick tonight, just so y'all know. There will definitely be a jersey swap. Now, Dick Wilson, that sounds kind of cool if you do it that way. So don't do Wilson Dick, do Dick Wilson. I know y'all will see this jersey swap at the end of the game. Dick Wilson, you'll see it, and you'll see it at the end. Dorian Finney-Smith is also playing for them. Noah Clowney coming up from the G League, getting time at the end of the season on the main roster. Jacob Gilyard is the short guard for the Brooklyn Nets. He'll be playing tonight. Let's see, Trendon Watford, Day'Ron Sharpe, best friend of Scotty from Mount Verge days. He will be playing, but Scotty won't be, unfortunately. Let's see who else they got on there. Yeah, that's pretty much their team, and they have lost 6 in a row, guys. So they're very susceptible. And we maybe what are we doing? Are we supposed to be trying to beat the Brooklyn Nets right now? I don't know. We could though. That's the thing. This game's very similar to Saturday night, and the Raptors have a good chance to try and win it. Once again, our chance to keep our pick, we got a 66% chance to sit in the 6th spot and hopefully keep our pick. So, the chances of keeping our pick are going up with every loss. So in some ways, that's what we should be thinking about, Raptors fans. We shouldn't be thinking about, oh, let's get the win. Maybe, I mean, if we want a streak bust, we want to bust up our 10-game losing streak. Well, go ahead and win tonight, Raptors, if you want to. But it's a little bit of a gamble. It's a little bit of a gamble, because Memphis, we got to watch them and see what they're doing, because it really is where their win total is compared to ours. Is going to really affect our odds. And well, they are playing tonight too. The Memphis Grizzlies are in. Hang on, let me look at where they are. They're in Denver playing the champs, so they're very likely to lose tonight. The Memphis Grizzlies is very likely to lose to Denver Nuggets in Denver tonight. So in some ways, to keep that pace, let's just go ahead and lose the Nets. Let's give Dennis Schroeder a little shine and let him go off and win this game today against us. So it's so weird that I can't see my camera. Y'all can see me though. That's good. That's good. All right, let's do the refs. All right, we got interesting refs today. We got refs we haven't seen a whole lot this year. A couple of them, one of them we haven't seen at all this year, and then the other ones we've only seen like once or twice this year. The first ref is Kevin Scott. Kevin Scott is from Oconee County, South Carolina. Is in the 13th season out of South Carolina. His favorite TV show is 48 Hours. He likes the movie The Shawshank Redemption. His favorite musician is Eric Church. His favorite book is Friday Night Lights. His favorite meal, cheese pizza. So Tommy Dookie, you can get some cheese pizza for Kevin Scott. Favorite app, the Weather Channel. He must like to visit the Great Barrier Reef. His bucket list is African safari, and his hidden talent is facial recognition. Now, I've always thought this is ridiculous. Like seriously, bro, your talent is hidden facial recognition. That's your hidden talent. Like, do you play Guess Who to train for that? That's what I'd always wondered, Kevin Scott. If your talent is hidden, is facial recognition, why do you just play Guess Who with your children all the time? I'm wondering about this. Like, if you put you in a room of 100 people, will you be able to get all their names and remember their names and recognize them and say, that is Judy, that is Edgar? Can you do that? That's what I'm wondering. What is this fucking talent? Facial recognition. What the fuck is that shit, bro? Like, you should be able to recognize LeBron from the other players in the league, right, Kevin Scott? I think that's the most important part of your job, right? Apparently from last night, that's true, considering the way the Lakers won their game last night. But yeah, I think that's the most important face you got to recognize as an NBA ref, apparently. But yeah, that's not a hidden talent, bro. I'm sorry. Are we going to play Guess Who at the referee all-star talent show? Because that's not a hidden talent. I'm sorry. Kevin Scott is an interesting ref for us. I used to hate Kevin Scott, but I've come around on him in recent years. He's the one that comes up to the microphone and sounds like George W. Bush. The Raptors are challenging the call on the play. He sounds like W. Bush. And, well, we have won both our games this year with him. So why should I hate him? I don't, because we're 2-0 this season with him. Of course, those games came early in the season. We haven't seen him in months since we kind of turned sour and rotten this season. But, hey, it is what it is. We win 58% of our games historically with Kevin Scott available, and the Nets win 49% of their games. So 58-49, the split for the Raptors with crew chief Kevin Scott. The second ref is Michael Smith. Michael Smith is a long-time old head ref, number 38 in his 31st season out of Memphis, Tennessee. His favorite TV show is NCIS New Orleans. His favorite movie is Training Day with Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington. His favorite musician, Charlie Wilson. Favorite book, The President is Missing. His favorite meal is dinner. So, Tom, can you get him some dinner on the referee menu today? His favorite app is ESPN. He most like to visit the White House. All right. Yeah, go on down there. Bucket list is to skydive. Yeah, he played baseball and basketball at Southside High School in Memphis, Tennessee when he was younger. Michael Smith has not refereed a game for us this season yet. This will be the first game that Michael Smith will ref for the Raptors in this season. We historically win 46% of our games, And meanwhile, the Nets win 50%. So Michael Smith actually favors the Brooklyn Nets today, 46-50, the middle ref. The third ref is Brandon Adair, and he's a top 5 ref for the Raptors. We like Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Experience his 6th season out of Norfolk, Virginia. His favorite TV show is The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, this guy's a big Will Smith guy. He also likes the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. He listens to Charlie Wilson. His favorite book is David Baldacci books. I don't know who that guy is. He wants some surf and turf for his meal. So we got cheese pizza, surf and turf, and a dinner. Dinner. What's your favorite meal? Dinner. Oh, all right. Dinner. His favorite app is Tripcase. He most like to visit Rome, and his bucket list is to skydive. Brandon Adair has done charitable work with something local, Walk MS, and Norfolk SPCA. Yeah, Brandon Adair, like I said, is a top 5 ref for us. We love Brandon. Brandon's been awesome. We've only seen him once this year, and we did lose that game. But yeah, historically, we win 65% of our games. He's up there with Tyler Ford and Dedrick Taylor. We like this guy. We really do. Meanwhile, the Nets only win 24% of their games with him. So, yeah, that's a great split for the Raptors. Not that we're trying to winning. 65-24 for the Raptors with the third ref, Brandon Adair. Now, this crew's all right. Michael Smith is somebody I have a lot of respect for. He's been a long time old head ref, and he's done a good job for most of his career. Meanwhile, Kevin Scott can be dubious. But really, what's the point right now? We have nothing to lose. We win the game. We screw around, win the game. Okay, maybe that's the worst outcome. Maybe the better outcome is just, go ahead and ref hit job us. Go ahead. Don't have no respect for our G League players playing for us right now. And go ahead and let's help the Brooklyn Nets win tonight, the NBA ref crew. We'll have to see. In some ways, I don't care. I don't care. Y'all win, y'all lose. It's all good to me right now. It's all good to me right now. So there's your ref report. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. This is so weird. I can't see myself on the screen. I felt like my camera wasn't working this whole time. It's blank on my screen. I can't see jack shit, but y'all can see me. That's all that matters. That is all that matters. I'm playing blind today, guys. I'm playing blind. I've never played blind before. This is very weird that I cannot see myself in my camera to see what's going on with me on the screen. So whatever. I'm playing blind today. Let's start the stream off with the chat. Trevor J, first in. Commissioner J, I love you, my guy. You are my dude. Thank you, Sheriff Trevor J. Good morning, Raptors family. Happy game day. Let's go. Grady, Kelly, Gary, and Darko. That's right. Let's do the Cosmic Card of the Day. Now, this is weird. I won't be able to see how I'm showing it on the camera to you guys, and we'll see how this works. So I'm going to go all the way down the bottom of the chat, and let's see. First person to write it in with the full name correctly spelled will get the points. And this is so weird. I'm not going to be able to see how I'm holding it. So I got to make sure I hold it where it covers the name. All right, this is a fun one. I like this one. This one's fun. And he's the namesake of one of my favorite people that hangs out on this chat. So we'll see if anybody can get this. Now, I have no idea if I'm going to show this very clearly because I can't see the camera once again. All right, so tell me who this is, guys. If you guys can tell me who that is, you'll get 100 points on your Raptor Freak trivia thing. I don't even know if I've got it in focus or if you guys can see it. 100%, it looks good. Yeah, you could actually tell me a lot if you're hitting those buttons like laughing or heart or 100%. That can tell me a lot. That's a good question. The answer, that's not the first name, Seymour. That is not the first name, but that is the right last name. So if anybody knows who this guy is, they should get this. This guy was in the dunk contest. He was overshadowed by his brother, but yeah, Gerald Wilkins is right. Smooth Brown Man gets it. I like the picture on this one. He's really making an effort to get that ball up in there. Gerald Wilkins, former New York Knick and Cav. This is funny because he's got the Knicks picture on the back, and then it's actually a Cavs picture when he was on the Cavs. Of course, Gerald Wilkins also played for the Orlando Magic. And that's when I got to watch him a lot because I was watching the Magic back then when he played for the Magic. That's pretty cool. That's Dominique's little brother, Gerald. Gerald, that's right. Seymour, you don't suck at this. It is what it is. Smooth Brown Man, undefeated. He is the man on this. That's right. All right, let's see what else you guys are talking about. All right, Naka wants in on the score prediction first. I see this. He says he loves Mikal Bridges. Not a first option, is he, though? 113-104, the Nets. All right, we're going to put that down. 113-104 is Nako the Nacho Gerald's guess. Gerald Wilkins. That's right, Gerald. There was a Gerald in the league. All right, let's see what else is going on. Trevor J. saying the referee's whistle against Indiana was ridiculous last night. Lakers had 43 attempts, make 38 free throws. Indiana had 16 attempts and made 9. The whistle was like you at a music concert, hits after hits. Yeah, that I looked at those stats and I'm like, yeah, NBA, you are so rigged. And of course, all the LeBron and Lakers stands are in there saying, well, if you stop fouling us, you wouldn't go to the line so much. Shut the fuck up with your bullshit. Saying, oh, if you wouldn't foul us so much, we wouldn't go to the line. That's bullshit. People are fouling everybody all over the league. And they are the only calls that are getting called are the ones with y'all. The fact that y'all have a plus 420 of fouls over the rest of the league is really shady and fucked up, and you're propped up. And this is the other thing that's crazy about y'all, Lakers, you dumbasses. You guys are probably going to fall out or something. You're not going to do well in the postseason, first of all. If you just straight up fall out because the Rockets and Fred VanVleet come up there and take your spot, you know, you guys need so much propping up. It is so pathetic and sad. And they did rob the Pacers of a win last night. Look at this. They lost by 5 points, and you guys gave them twice the number of free throws of the other team. Seriously, what is this NBA? It's a sham. Everybody can see right through it. And I don't understand how anybody can bet on the NBA because they know it's rigged. It's like, how stupid are you? You going to bet on something that's planned like WWE? So, like, seriously, NBA, y'all are crazy right now with the way you glaze the Lakers, first of all. And then, like, you expect us all to start betting on your sport when we obviously can see it's rigged as fuck? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Seriously, this is a messed up game last night between the Pacers and the Lakers. Messed up game, and I hate it. Monique is here, the super fan. Monique Lawrence. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Happy game day. Just battle. Go Raptors. I'm playing blind, Monique. I can't see. I can't see y'all. It's weird. I can't see myself is what it is. Tristan's here. Good to see Tristan Trey. All love, Raptors fam. Have a great day, everybody. Back at you, Tristan. Always good to see you, my guy. I'm going to give you a dunk for the well wishes and coming in and saying hi this morning. Yeah, a Monday morning. Let's get our week started off right, and let's go get a win. Two dunks for Tristan so far this year. You're Jalen McDaniels, my guy. You're Jalen McDaniels or Kawhi Leonard. I could say that. Chris is here. Good to see MSJ. The refs did a number on Indy. I hope LeBron is proud of himself. And also, Dinwiddie had 26. And so why is he not on our team? NBA is truly fixed for the casual international fans who love LA. Well, Chris, Dinwiddie was never in our plans. Just because we traded and Dinwiddie was in the prop, you got to understand that trade that we did with Dennis and then was to salary dump for this summer. In some ways, we don't want to get Spencer Dinwiddie right now like the Lakers do because they're trying to fight for their playoff lives. Spencer Dinwiddie is a piece that's useful for people that are trying to do stuff like that. Otherwise, you don't want him for a rebuild. Honestly, he's a low efficiency guy who's kind of just shitty. I never wanted Spencer Dinwiddie, even though he played good last night. I mean, let's not do this. Just because Delano's kicking ass in Portland, everybody's saying, why did we let Delano go? Just because this happens, is bullshit. That's woulda, coulda, shit. And Dinwiddie should have never been in our plans, and we did exactly the right thing with that transaction. So don't get buyer's remorse, seller's remorse, or whatever fucking remorse about Spencer Dinwiddie. Come on, man. Seriously. You're talking about fucking Spencer Dinwiddie, bro. That's not somebody you should be like, oh, man, we dropped the ball because we waived him and we used his salary part to have more money this summer. I'd much rather have that money this summer to spend on a quality player than fucking tie up Spencer Dinwiddie. No, man, no. NBA is not truly fixed. It is fixed with the refs, but not because of Spencer Dinwiddie going to LA. No, they are not. Not for that. Tom Dookie. Press the thumb button, folks. Let's go, Raptors. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you, Tom Duke. And thank you for being you, my guy. Cowboys saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Hopefully Ramsey can find his way back to Toronto somehow. Anyway, let's go. Yeah, you know what? I want Raptors fans to know this. This isn't like inept GMing. This is basically we're doing tryouts. And we got the two 10-day period, 20 days of Jahmi'us Ramsey, and we really got to see him well. In fact, I will tell you this. He impressed. He did really good. In some ways, Bobby and Masai could be like, I've seen enough. And they like, we don't need to keep him because we'll come around and get him this summer. That is what we've done in the past. You can think of somebody like DJ Wilson. DJ Wilson, we had on 10-day contracts a couple years ago, a couple times, and we cut him loose, and then we circled back. And we signed DJ Wilson to our training camp roster the very next year. I could see this happening with Jahmi'us Ramsey. Now, Josh Lewenberg's lamenting on Twitter that this is risky because you let Ramsey go. We don't have any rights to him. We don't even have G League rights to him. We don't have no rights to him right now. And that's true. But if Ramsey enjoyed his time in Toronto, he could see the potential and we liked him. Well, we can make an offer to him. He could be a Raptor next year. So it's not cut and dry that Jahmi'us Ramsey's future with the Raptors is not going to happen. We've got to just let things play out the way they're supposed to. In some ways, they're giving a bone to Kobe Simmons and rewarding him for great service this year on that shitty-ass team led by Eric Curry. So there's a lot going on here. And I don't want Raptors fans to just jump the gun and say, wow, we really suck. Why would we let Ramsey go? Well, in some ways we are, but in some ways, I'll bet you we'll circle around and see him again this summer, is what I'll say right there. Yeah. Bryce is here. Bryce Lawson holding it down in Kentucky. Good morning, Lex and the Raptor Freak family. Hope you all have a great weekend leading into this great week. Yeah, it's a full moon today. Full moon energy has put my camera out, Bryce. I can't see y'all or me. Dana's saying good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Dana. Good to see you. I hope no two-finger salutes early in the Monday morning so far today. Kareem, what's up from Cowboy? And David's dapping everybody. Dap, dap, dap. And Seymour saying slap, slap, slap. Good morning from Mountain Time region from the Sheriff Seymour Pape. I love it. Kareem Thomas saying one of the greatest NBA executive philosophers once said, fuck Brooklyn. I like that. You know what? For saying the first fuck Brooklyn today on this glorious day when we're going to play the Brooklyn Nets, Kareem, you're getting a dunk. This guy knows how to get dunks. I'm just telling you, he's a prolific dunker. It's like in the game, he's Shaq. Shaq just dunks all over the place. 88 is your number now. Kareem Thomas, you got 88 dunks so far this year. That's amazing, actually. 930, baby. Yeah, David, I don't know what the hell happened. I couldn't get an image, so I was trying to troubleshoot for a bit. And I was like, you know what? Just go on. And when y'all told me the camera was working, it's just that I can't see it on my end. All right, we'll keep going. That's right. Cowboy saying that's how you start off a Monday. Dap, yeah, you go through the fire. Even if you're blind, man, you can't see nothing. You do what you do. You do what you do because you got to do it still. People are counting on you to come in and give the ref report. You got to get here. Tom saying, F Brooklyn. That's right, Tommy. You want to dunk too? All right, Tommy. You're speaking my language when you're talking the Maasai talk right there. Tom Duke, you're getting a dunk. Actually, we're going to give you a three-pointer. You're at Mo Pete 24, my guy. You are a Morris Peterson 24 at this point, my dude. Yeah, let's go. All right, let's see. There's Maasai and the GOAT. That's right. That's the right company. A Raptor, a Maasai, and a GOAT. That is the right company right there. That's right. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy game day. Let's just win one more game before the season ends, just so that the streak is not too egregious. Yeah, I love that she's using the word egregious, and I totally agree with this. In some ways, we need to streak bust this, and maybe tonight's the night. We're at home. We've had rest. Maybe Kobe Simmons feels like going for 50. That might be nice. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if Kobe Simmons can get 50 points in a game. That'd be crazy. G's here. Good to see G. Pacers took more shots, made more shots, had the same rebounds and points in the paint, and it was 43-16 in free throws favoring the Lakers. League clearly wants LeBron or Curry in the play-in. Oh, yeah. It's this, Scott Foster. It's this. NBA fans across the league do this to the referees at any city you want. Just start doing this, and they can't find you, right? Like the players, just do it and let them know. We know what it's all about. We know this sport is rigged. We know that they have prime directives of keeping the LeBron and the Lakers alive as long as he can, because that man might retire anytime soon. So they got to squeeze every last bit of juice out of the 40-year-old body of LeBron James to get that entertainment from it. Some people say, Lex, you are just not respecting the last bit of time that we have to watch the great LeBron. Oh, no, you should respect him more. Fuck all that shit. That motherfucker's been bad for this league, and he needs to fucking retire and get the fuck out of here. So don't even come at me and say, oh, you should respect LeBron more. No, that motherfucker needs to retire and get the fuck out of this league, because this league basically kisses his ass every single day. And it's not a up and up league with LeBron James still playing in it. And that's what I'll say right there. Yeah, we can look at his accolades and I'll respect him after he's gone. And I don't soak up the last little bit of LeBron. I don't give a shit about it. In some ways, I look at LeBron as somebody who really turned this game into a fucking horrible place. Like his time in charge of this league, being the face of the league, this league has gone downhill in the last 20 years of LeBron playing in the league. And that's just the damn truth. Some people will disagree with me. Some people can be dick riders for LeBron and be like, oh, mad at me. I don't give a shit, because I know it's the truth. You can't ask me and tell me that the NBA is better now today than it was the day he started as a rookie. You cannot make that argument where I will believe you. This product has gotten worse. This league is awful and gotten worse and worse in the time of LeBron. And that's just the damn truth. That's how I feel about it. That's right. That's how I feel about it. And that game last night was a travesty against Siakam and the Pacers last night. That's right. Cowboys saying the greatest NBA executive, Masai Ujiri. I love that. I love that. David saying we're making a play-in run here, Fiercey. Pas Ziz. Oh, wait, you trying to make me speak French this morning? Come on now. Pa Aziz, Danny Savine, Larry Cisabagar Folke. All right, I don't know what I said exactly, and I did study French. I don't know what you're doing to me, David. Let's see. Chris is saying, I'm going to be the same shit. It's going to be the same shit. We are undersized, lose the boards, and take a loss. I don't know how undersized we are to them, though. It's going to be weird. It'll be similar to Washington on Saturday. I'm not going to lie, Chris. Brooklyn has not been the best team right now. I mean, they do have more of their better players. They are better than the Wizards, but not by much. And I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll be a lot similar to Saturday night. I don't know. Maybe Kelly can muscle a little bit. Who do we got to worry about? You're always interested in the big man on the other side, on how they're going to hurt us. Claxton, Day'Ron Sharp, Noah Clowney. These guys are all pretty big on the boards and doing stuff. So they do have more size than us. So I think you're right. We are undersized against them. We probably will lose the boards tonight. David's saying, oh, shit, sorry. I was translating some Romanian from my work. Oh, that's Romanian? That's not even French. No wonder I didn't recognize it. My bad. Okay, fuck all y'all, and you're losing. I'm rooting for a W. Well, David, give me your score prediction. If you guys want to play the score prediction game, I got Gerald's name in here so far first. And if anybody wants to write their score prediction for tonight's game, we're still playing that game as long as we're doing the weird losing on the down low thing. Fiercely saying, yes, Trevor. I watched the game late as Pacers were clearly winning at first, but then the refs started acting up. The fix was obviously in, but I'm happy Pascal cooked. Definitely an asset for them. Yeah, Pascal's looking better and better. I saw that one highlight of him dunking on 2 Lakers, and I was like, yeah, get him, Pascal. Get him, Pascal. But yeah, the NBA had to help them. The NBA had to help them last night, and that's pathetic. That's so pathetic. Lakers fans, how do you feel good about yourself when you know that you guys get propped up and you're still only a play-in team? That is so fucking pathetic. You guys have been propped up. If you weren't propped up, you would be in the bottom of the league, you dumbasses. I don't know if you guys understand that. I don't think you do. As much as we get hurt by it and held down, y'all get pushed up, and you're still fucking 9th in your conference. That is pathetic. That is so pathetic. You get so much help. Oh my gosh. Chris is saying, so Ramsey is released to 905. Nope. He's not under our. We don't have his rights. He's Oklahoma City's rights. He plays for the Blue, I believe, Oklahoma City Blue. So he will go back there, but it doesn't matter because honestly, what's going to happen is they have 2 more games this week and they're done. And what I think could happen is this. Think about this, guys. I could see the Raptors doing 1 10-day contract with Kobe, giving him a chance to get a couple games in the NBA and do some stuff, get a look at him, and then they'll circle back and they'll get Ramsey back again on the 10-day afterwards just to solidify it. They could do that. I bet you money they could do that. So I'm telling you, we like Ramsey. I'm pretty sure Masai and Bobby do too. I'm pretty sure they do too. Trust me. So just because he got released yesterday, didn't get the next contract, well, that may be just temporary. Watch. He could be in 10 days back. Yeah, he could be back then. Bryce is saying, is he live? I think so. I don't know. I can't see shit. Bryce. Tom's sleeping. You thought I was sleeping? Nah. You know what? I had I took a long shower and I got out of the shower at like 9:15 and I'm like, oh crap, I gotta get going. And then I got in here and then the camera wasn't working and I was like, oh crap, I gotta scramble. So I've been trying to scramble to catch up, and I am late today. I apologize for that. Dana's laughing, fiercely saying, hey Chris, the refs were indeed on some BS against the Pacers. I think Din Shitty was waived because of salary cap. I forgot. Also, he has a weird salary clause, wants partial crypto payment or something. Yeah, there were bonuses we would have had to pay him if we had not waived him that just we weren't interested in. And also, we weren't interested in him the whole time. It really was just a filler to make the numbers work for the Thad and Dennis to go to Brooklyn. And you look and see what happened to Thad. He got waived too, and he signed with Phoenix. So this was a common thing to do around that time in the trade deadline, Chris. And just trust in Masai that the salary dump is worth more than keeping Din Shitty. And I'm with Fiercey on that. Yeah. My camera isn't working, Monique, but it is working apparently. It's just I can't see it. It's really weird. I hope it fixes itself tomorrow. Bryce says, still waiting for Raptor Streak. Don't know if for my stuff is messed up or he's live right now. My stuff's messed up, Bryce. If you can see me, you're good. You are good. Fiercely saying Dinwiddie is far from being constant. We dodged a bullet. Yeah, think about it this way, Chris. Excuse me. Think about it this way. It's like Dinwiddie is like a worse Gary and even more inconsistent. Is like, yeah, he doesn't even have the ceiling that Gary has. I'm just saying that's the way I look at him. Chris is saying, thanks, Mo. Here he is. We can see you, bro. Okay, cool. I'm glad you guys can see me. Din Shitty. Yeah, that's a good one. Now out and clear. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Attaboy, we got you. All right, Eureka. We can see in here, and I can't see. I can't see shit, but it's all right. As long as y'all can see me, it's good. Let's see. Thank you guys for telling me that you can see me. Seymour saying, I'm no longer making opinions on our players. The toxicity in having your own opinion is crazy. Yeah, you know what? We want to be loving and supportive, but we want to balance that with realistic, constructive criticism. This has been a big criticism of my channel is that I'm too positive. And I'm just like, oh, you're just always like kissing their butt and saying good things about Masai and Darko and the players. And that's not true, though. People that watch me will hear me be criticizing people. Like I've criticized JFL, Mohamedou, Gary. I criticize people all the time. So I don't get like I can be a positive fan and love the team, have the right place in my heart, rooting for them to win and wanting them to win Larry O'Brien's and do all this stuff. But also at the same time, I can kind of have some criticism of them when I feel like, okay, Malachi Flynn isn't working out as a backup guard. Yeah, I can have that criticism and that's helpful. It's not necessarily bad, but you know, there's a fine line. You want to keep it non-toxic. Because if you go into like name calling or talking shit, like saying Fred's a shot chunking munchkin, you know, shit like that, that's a problem. It's really, you got to focus on the game, focus on what they're doing on the court, their output and how they're playing, and not necessarily all the other bullshit and stuff. So it's a tough balance. And in some ways, I get what you're saying. Some of us may decide not to be negative about our players or criticize them at all, just to be a counterbalance to that toxicity that Seymour's talking about on social media places. Fiercey saying, haha, Tom, I like that. Fuck Brooklyn. Fuck Brooklyn. That's right, Fiercey. Tom saying, did your daughter play, Fiercey? Yeah, she played this weekend and she won. She won. That's right. That's right. She won the finals. That's what I heard. Let's see. Mo's saying, glad Cam is working. I can see you and hear perfectly. Awesome, Mo. Perfect. Thank you, Sheriff Mo, for letting me know. G saying, Shaq posting E might raise his stock. Shh, media, we don't need this. We need him in our ranges. You know, it's interesting, G. There's really two different thoughts about Zach right now. There's a lot of people down there that don't believe in him. They're watching him in this tournament and they're seeing what he's doing. They say he won't translate. There's a lot of people that really don't think he will translate the NBA and be fast enough to play in the NBA. The other big knock about him is he doesn't have a consistent three. And everybody just feels like that's just a rule to get into club NBA at this point. You have to be able to shoot the three to be able to play in the NBA in today's game. Well, that's not totally true. Jakob Poeltl plays in this league, and that man don't shoot no threes. Some people don't like him for that. That's part of the problem. Casuals are very like three oriented, right? The newer fans. And because Jakob doesn't shoot threes, that's part of the reason why they probably look down on him. It's probably part of the reason why they feel like, why do we waste money on a guy who can't even hit a three? The game isn't based around the three, you dumbasses. The game is based around defense and rebounding. And the three is just a little dog and pony show for casual fans to get all gooey about. No, this is about meat and potatoes. This is about rebounds and defense. And that's why you need somebody like Jakob Poeltl, maybe even Zach Edey. So listen, I would tell you right now, if you're worried about Zach Edey not having a three-point shot, that man will develop one. If he has to, he could go this summer and get a three-point shot better and better. I saw him taking threes for Team Canada last summer. So I know it's within his range. And I'll bet you he does have plans to develop into getting more and more of a three-point shot as he goes into the NBA this year. So I don't know. I hear you, G, but you got to understand there's a weird, huge contingency of media that do not think he's an NBA player, that he will not translate. So there's a lot of noise counterbalancing, like even the great performance, Shaq lauding Zach, that could help push his stock up, but there's a lot of people pushing it down at the same time. So, you know, in this kind of situation, you could think about it and say, well, Masai and Bobby, they're the truth seers. They're the truth seers that saw Scotty over Jalen Suggs. They're the truth seers that see stuff that we don't all see, like Grady Dick. And maybe we'll have to see what they see in the truth of Zach Edey and whether he is somebody they will pick up. So I don't know. It could be very interesting. If his stock goes up because he wins in the tournament, he's absolutely the best player in the tournament. Well, he could be a top 5 pick, and we may need to use that protected pick on him right away if we are very much valuing him. And that's Masai and Bobby's truth and what they see. So we'll have to see what they think. We don't know yet. We don't know. We'll have to see. Smooth saying, really too bad it did not work out with Dennis Schroeder. I completely agree with this, Smooth Brown Man. I really like Dennis a lot as a person. I obviously, y'all know this because of the way I've talked about him. You know, I wasn't really a big Dennis fan or cared about him until we got him. And then when I found out about him, when I watched his channels, when I saw the performance at World Cup, leading the Team Germany to the gold and being the MVP of the whole freaking show, I was proud of him. And I was like, you know what? He's getting accolades for the Raptors before he even comes on the Raptors. It's like, this is one of our dudes. I valued that so much, but it's too bad most of Raptors Nation did not. It's too bad that they didn't. In some ways, it's painful for me. It's painful for Dennis, and it's painful for Darko. Because honestly, Dennis was kind of like a safety net for Darko in his rookie year as a head coach that we kind of he went away. And I don't know, it was, the reset when we started sending everybody away. He was just part of that contingency with Siakam and Anunoby. So it is sad. In some ways, it's sad because of the kids. It's sad because of the Schroeder kids and Ellen having to be apart from their dad more in the last couple months because we traded him to Brooklyn, because they stayed here in Toronto. They didn't want to go with him, apparently. And they got an apartment down there, too. But, yeah, they got a house here also. Fiercely saying Ben Simmons shut down for the season as if he was ever impactful this year and set to return next season. Will it be on the NBA? We'll see. We'll get to see his famous preseason workout clips. Yeah, he's such a joke, man. He is such a joke. And we will not see him tonight. Wayne saying we need a dedicated point guard. He's way too selfish and is truly a G League player, but we need a point guard. Don't care, but letting go of Dennis is still a fail for me on a short to medium term basis. Well, that's just like kind of loosening up the salary cap. It's a similar thing to waiving Dinwiddie while trading Dennis. Dennis was making like 17 million or something like that. And in some ways that money is gone now and it'll be freed up for this summer. So everything we did around the trade deadline, trading Otto, trading Thad, trading Dennis, was all for salary dump. And in some ways, you'll be happier about it this summer after things. Dennis is not long-term for us. It really was just a quick try with the old group. The old group had to be dismantled. Dennis is considered in the old group. And it sucks. It sucks. Let's see. Bryce is saying, how y'all feel about Lonzo Ball? Well, I feel like they shouldn't have worn their own shoes, is what it seems like to me. That these guys have had real problems with their feet and problems with their bodies because of these shoes they like to wear. You're saying coming to Toronto? I don't think he's coming to Toronto. You heard something about something that I didn't hear? I have not heard anything about Lonzo Ball coming to Toronto. I'm not interested in this. I feel like he has been absolutely a disaster for the Chicago Bulls. He's a big reason why they've been middling. They can't depend on his health. So, yeah, it's a hard pass from me. He's basically in that category like Ben Simmons to me. He's just a fucking like injured guy that's a drain, and I don't want him around my team. In fact, the fact that he takes so much of the salary cap of the Chicago Bulls and he hasn't done a jack shit for them in like 2 or 3 years is messed up. And it's a big reason why the Bulls have been the way they are. They could be a lot better if that money is freed up and somebody was out there producing, regardless if it was Lonzo Ball or not. So I'm a hard pass, Bryce. I don't like that guy. I don't think he's a good shooter, and I think he's overhyped. And the whole Ball family is kind of stupid and ridiculous, honestly. Let's see. David's saying, I don't think letting Dennis go was something they did thinking they would improve. We only acquired the right to waive Dinwiddie, right? Yeah, it's a salary dump, David. This is all about money. That deal was the Brooklyn deal with that, where we didn't really get a player and we just lost players, was all for salary purposes this summer to free up more money on the free agency market and also free up more money to buy to pay the contract of Emmanuel Quickley and probably the new extension Scotty's going to get. So there's a couple of different reasons why. It's a money move. That was the money move right there. There was a pick move. There was a player move, and there was a money move. The New York move was a player move. We got 2 starters. The Indiana pick deal was a pick move. We got picks, and then the Brooklyn move was for getting salary dump, and then the Utah move was to get Kelly and Oshai. So we did get more players also, some role players there too. So Fiercely saying, wow, second place. We won second place. I'm putting a positive spin. The opponents were hungrier for the win, but my daughter scored 3 baskets and her point guard skills are improving. So proud of her. And thanks for asking. That's awesome. That's right. So that game was yesterday, but you guys had a game on Saturday, I remember, or Friday. So there were 2 games recently. You won the one before, and then you lost in the finals and got second. I think that's what she's saying. Yeah. That's awesome. That is awesome, Fiercey. You go, Fiercey Salsera Jr. You are awesome. That's nice. Yeah, Chris. Let's see. Tom's saying right on. That's great for her. Love it. And I like all the Ball brothers, even Leangelo. See, I'm not. I'm like, these guys, what are these clowns? I mean, seriously. Do you know why I don't like the Balls? Is because I don't feel like they represent fundamentally good basketball. I feel like they're flashy. They're all subs. They're all. They're not any substance. They're all kind of flashy. They're not steak. They're sizzle. They're sizzle. I would say, all right, the good comparison is Michael Jordan is steak. Vince Carter is sizzle. The Ball family is sizzle. Does that make sense? Kobe Bryant is steak. Scotty Barnes is steak. The Ball brothers are sizzle. That's what I'm talking about. All flash, good for the young kids to see highlights and goofy dribbling from LaMelo. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not a fan of that family at all. I feel like they're ridiculous, honestly. Let's keep going. Nako's saying London should be back next season. London bridges falling down. I don't know what you mean by that. London should be back next season. What does that mean? What does that mean? Lonzo, you mean? Oh, Lonzo should be back. Fuck him. I don't care. I don't care. DeMar might be gone before he gets back. That's the problem there. David's saying, way to go, Mini Fiercely Salsera. I like that. And Fiercely saying, Lonzo Ball, I heard he may be cleared to play again, but isn't his contract mad crazy? Yeah, it's really high, and they have not got any returns on it. So he's been an absolute fail for the Chicago Bulls. Absolute fail. And he can single-handedly be pointed to as the reason why the Bulls have been shitty for the last 2 years because of his absence. So David's saying, mad crazy. Yeah, name was saying the Duke of Victoria. That's right. Bryce is saying he's cleared, planning to play next season. I have no interest in him. I say it's a hard pass. He does not need to be in a Raptor jersey. You know what? I feel like the Bulls need to get something back for all that money they paid him already. So he should just stay in Chicago and earn the money he got paid already for sitting around and not being able to walk and shit. Like they were saying, he can't even stand or walk for a while there. Why the fuck would we want a player that was like a year ago? They were wondering if he could actually stand up out of a chair. Like, seriously, y'all. They were speculating that. And there was that whole thing with Stephen A. Smith. He said, I heard he can't even get out of a chair. And then, like, Lonzo went and showed himself at a pool, like Stephen A. Smith. I'm telling you, they were saying things he couldn't even run for a little bit. He's like, he can't run, y'all. He can't even jump. Yeah, we don't want damaged goods, Lonzo Ball. I'm sorry. Even if he comes back and he's healthy, how long until he gets hurt again? And then he's just sitting and collecting money and checks like Ben Simmons. I'm sorry. I put him in the category of Ben Simmons. I really do. Hard pass, player collecting checks and sitting at home. That's what's going on right there. Yeah. Fiercely saying, yeah, we don't need him. Don't wish him any harm, but it would be risky in respect to his injury. Exactly. That is a smart thing to say. It's risky and the money ain't worth it. We got IQ. Why the fuck do we want Lonzo Ball? Lonzo Ball is Glass Joe. And IQ is Ball Bull. It's Mike Tyson. He's really good. He's like super macho man. I'm telling you, you don't want Glass Joe. You want the one of the higher level guys. And IQ is gonna be so good. And he's our point guard. We don't need anybody muddling it up, especially an injury prone guy like Lonzo Ball. No, we don't want him. Cowboy has got the Raptors on blast, and Cowboy Sheriff David cheers from Nameless, the Paisano. Seymour saying, I hope we lose respectfully. I want that draft pick rights. Yeah, see, he's rooting for it. All right, you guys give me some scores if you want. Seriously. Tom Duke's got that cheese pizza for Kevin Scott. There you go. Extra cheese for Mr. Scott tonight. Let's see. To cover up the pepperoni on the cheap frozen pizza we got for these Yahoo refs, Brandon Adair gets a great meal. There you go. I love this. So Tom's being devious with the food for the refs today. He's gonna go ahead and put pepperoni on the cheese pizza, but he's gonna put a whole lot of extra cheese on top. So Kevin Scott's gonna bite into it. He's like, this isn't cheese pizza. There's pepperoni on this. Damn you, Tom Duke. I love that you got a whole spread for Brandon Adair. He likes to surf and turf, and it looks like he got him like the little poisonous blowfish that's dangerous to eat. It looks like it's in the middle. It's like the one on the Simpsons episode where Homer goes to that restaurant, he gets that blowfish, and it's like they got to cut the part out or it's poisonous or you die. You know what I'm talking about? It looks like Brandon Adair's got that. He's got some sushi. There's a steak. There's a little meat ham hock or whatever. There's a scallop or something, and then there's some fish that's like, "Don't kill me." He's like looking at us. He's like, "Oh no, not me. Leave me in the tank." All right, good job getting the cosmic card of the day. Seymour, try harder. You'll be all right. You don't suck at that. Wayne saying, correct, David. It was a financial decision on Dennis Schroeder. Raptor Freaks, understanding our need to protect our pick is one thing, but the players, these young players need to taste wins as well, too. There you go. It is really an angel and a devil on our shoulders right now. There's one side saying, oh, we need to win. It's the angel. It's saying we need to win. We need to be virtuous in our goals to try and win and teach these young players how to win. Well, there's the little devil saying, no, lose, keep your pick. Losing is right. In some ways, I'm with Motley Crue, and I'm going to go shout at the devil. And I'm going to go down there and go with the devil on this one because I think losing is the right one on this one. I'm sorry. Losing is the right move here. Winning is great and, good feelings. But, what are feelings? It's like thoughts and prayers. It's like, oh, thoughts and prayers to you. I mean, seriously, right now we just need to lose because it's the best thing for our strategy for next year. This year's a wash. And as much as I agree with Wayne about giving the young guys some good feelings about winning, I don't think they're that upset about it, honestly, on the down low. Seriously, I don't think they're downtrodden and hurt by this. We've seen them at the open practice. They were not upset. They were happy. They were smiley. And I think also a lot of them understand what's going on right now. And the losing is not like really taking a toll because it's kind of like if you were losing because Scotty and Jakob and RJ and Emmanuel were out there and we were bringing our best at other teams and we were just not adding up and we were losing a lot. That's way more deflating than losing with the crew that we got right now. Like if we were absolutely our best version and we had a 10 game losing streak, that would be so depressing. And that's not the case right now. It's no Scotty. That's a big, big difference right there. That's a big, big difference right there. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Chris is saying, I just asked why Spencer wasn't on the team. JFL is my guard of the future. Laugh out loud. Yeah. I don't understand. I've heard a couple people say, why do we just do that with Dinwiddie? I totally got it. In fact, when we traded for him, I was like, is he really going to come here and play for us? Because I really don't want him to. And then I shortly after heard that we waived him. And I was like, okay, this is right. This is all right. I should just trust in Masai. He knows what he's doing. Fiercely saying, at the bogus IST, the Lakers won versus the Pacers. So yesterday was probably a predicted loss to make the Fakers look good once again. I can't wait till they get booted out of the playoffs by the Nuggets. Yeah. I think that's exactly right. I think that in some ways they want to really reinforce that the Lakers won the IST by in the rematch against the Pacers. They have to beat them again to really show it. And I think that was a huge reason why the NBA railroaded the game last night to a Lakers win is because they want to reinforce that the Lakers were a legitimate IST winner in the first year. And it's so stupid. It is so stupid, convoluted, and dumb. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Fiercey. I think that's exactly right. And I think the second part is exactly right, too, that they're going to get put out by the daddy, Michael Malone. That is if they get out of the play-in. That's the other part. They got to get out of the play-in before they get that opportunity to get swept by the Nuggets. Let's see. Wayne saying, only regret Lex has is being caught out without those precious gems. He still covets those blemished gems. I'm trying to think. Are you talking about Precious Achua? Yeah, I'm very upset about Precious. I wish Precious was still on our team. He'd be very helpful right now. I mean, he'd be a really good starting center for us at this point. And he's done a good job for the Knicks since he's gone over there to be the backup center, starting at times. So, yeah, I've been upset about Dennis and Precious leaving our team. On the down low for a bit now. Yeah. Fiercely saying, Lakers daddy. Okay. Smooth saying, bleep the Lakers. I'm with you on that. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Just waking up from past California. Yeah, that was bullshit, wasn't it, Cool Cat? Activation mode versus the Lakers. I understand NBA needs Lakers in the playoffs for viewership. Pascal and Scotty would be Lowry and Pascal in LA. Could be Lowry and yeah, you know what? It's crazy. Like Lowry always loved beating LeBron and the Lakers, and I hope. Well, did they beat the Lakers the other day? Sixers went in there, lost to them, but they beat the Clippers. It's kind of messed up. Like they really do protect the Lakers in really weird ways right now. David, thank you for the like and subscribe. Carlo JS, good morning to you, Raptor Freak family. All right, David's giving me his prediction for the game tonight. It is let's see. He's saying 113 to 109 Raptors win. All right. He is going for the Raptors and the opposite of Gerald. I like that. 109 to 113 for Raptors win. Smooth saying, has any legacy player ever gotten as much help the way LeBron has? This is a serious question. You know, all right, I want to be fair about this because LeBron James, well, let's talk about Michael Jordan. He definitely had favor from the refs. There was definitely different rules for Michael than the rest of the league. But the thing I would point to on this, Smooth, is what we talked about earlier. Is the free throws. It's not like Michael got an extraordinary amount more than everybody else. If he did, it didn't seem like it was egregiously bad, like it seems like what's going on with the Lakers right now. Like I can remember Michael going to the line a lot, and if you breathe on him, yeah, they used to say if you breathe on Michael, he's going to the line. But I can also remember other superstars in the league getting the same kind of treatment. So it wasn't like Michael was head and above and beyond everybody else for sure. There were some similar treatments for people like Clyde Drexler and different kind of scores that were similar to him. I don't know. It's tough to say. I feel like LeBron has gotten a lot of help, partly because he's a media product. He's a phenom. He's somebody that they very much constructed to be who he is. And, you know, he has been fantastic for the product in some ways as far as things. But I'm telling you, for the quality of the game, he's really hurt it. So it's weird. It's a weird thing. I think he has gotten way more help than any player ever in the history of the NBA. I think that's true. Chris is saying, I think LeBron has been an amazing player, but it's the propping up of him, the Lakers, and the Bronny shit. It's all turned fake. And here's Chris's score prediction. Let's write it in here. He is saying 104 to 101, the Nets. 104 to 101. What is that noise? Something weird beeping in my house. I don't know what that is. That's so weird. Why am I getting beeps and weird stuff today? I don't know. Technology is being crazy today. All right, so we got Chris down 109 to 101. All right, next one, or wait, 104 to 101 and a 101. All right, write that down, Lex. Dana wants 104 to 102 for the Raptors. So 102 to 104. I'm writing them in order of Brooklyn at New York, Brooklyn at Toronto. Tom Dookie is busting the streak tonight. He believes in the Raptors, and he wants 105 to 114, Toronto. All righty. All right, I guess I'll put mine in. Let me see. What's Lex saying today? I really do want them to lose again. So I'm going to keep predicting them to lose, even though it's really not in my normal nature. And I like where you guys are all at in a lot of ways, but I'm going to go a little lower. And I'm going to say the score tonight is going to be 99 to 95. 99 to 95 for the Nets is my score prediction for tonight's game. Let's see. And Smooth saying by help, I mean the refs. Yeah, Michael got help, but I don't think it's on the same scale of the help. And for how long? That's the other thing. Michael may have gotten help for like, let's say 7 of the years, like crazy, like of his career. Like he got crazy help in the 90s. And LeBron's been getting help for like almost the whole 20 years he's been in the league. So, yeah, I think this is probably pretty accurate. Infamous is saying, salute freaks. Whoever said the Lakers were propped up is just a JDR and did watch the game, only the scoreboard, shaking my head. All right, see, now Infamous is a stand for LeBron. It's just a JDR. What does that mean? JDR. JDR. What's the J in that? You're saying somebody, Dick Ryder. Salute freaks. Whoever said the Lakers we propped up is just a JDR and did watch the game, only a scoreboard, shaking my head. I don't totally understand what you're saying. I do feel like they were propped up. I mean, if you watch the game, I don't know. I didn't watch the game. These other people did, though. Cool Cat watched it. Cool Cat saying, I don't want any W's for the remaining games. We keep rising to the top of the draft. I love our auditioning process in live NBA games. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Cool Cat. You can see me clearly on my side. All right, awesome. Awesome. Tom saying Street Busters can't lose them all, can we? And Tom Duke saying maybe we can. Chris is saying I'm not a big fan of Spencer. I'm just thinking the NBA is rigged to send players to the Lakers, etc. I'm all in on JFL. It's 100% JFL. He's going for 10 tonight. What I will say about Spencer Dinwiddie is that was just an attractive market. They had money and they had the ability to do that. And he wanted to go there. So he had the choice. Rob Pelinka interviewed him, talked to him, and he said, yeah, let's do this. I don't think that that's anything fishy about that. I think there's a lot of players that kind of orient themselves to where they might go on the buyout market, like Thad Young going to the Phoenix Suns. It's just kind of where your place is and who's interested in the market like that. It's a free market kind of thing. So it's not like they funneled Spencer to the Lakers. Spencer had options, and that was the one he wanted to take. Is kind of where it is. Bryce is saying Bron beat us down for so long. He became my favorite player. I'm one of those Bron sexuals. That comment kind of hurt, Lex. He's done more good for the game than bad. I don't agree with that, Bryce, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel like he's just made it. I don't know. In some ways, the things that he's done in his career have been like, I don't think they're selfless. I think he's been very egotistical in the way he's done things with his career. And he hasn't thought about the game. He's thought about himself, his legacy, how he's going to look. He's cared about all that more than actually the integrity of the game. And in some ways, he epitomizes the problem with the integrity of the game right now. And that is the problem right there. It could be like, oh, he brought entertainment. He brought more people, that young fans who are interested in watching him. But honestly, he has destroyed the integrity of the game over this time. And last night epitomizes it. You guys can be fine with it. I am a victim of LeBronto, and I am still kind of like, fuck him. And I mean, listen, I was the same way. I want to tell you this. I treated Michael the same way while he was playing as I treat LeBron right now. And you guys can hear me talk nice and glowingly about Michael now. But when he was playing, I absolutely hated his ass. I was a Pistons fan. I was a fan of everybody went against them other than when they had Rodman. And when they had Rodman, I rooted for the Bulls. But that was only because Dennis Rodman was my favorite player of all time. So this is the thing. I hated Michael. I said, fuck Michael Jordan when he was playing. I've always hated the number one player in the league. I'm an underdog rooter. I don't root for the easy person. So many people that watch the NBA like to root for the winner, the top dog, the easiest person to root for, and that's LeBron. And I feel like that's lazy. That's too easy. I feel like these kind of people are just like, oh, I just want to feel good about myself, and LeBron helps me do that. No, I've always been against the top player in the league. I was against Michael in the past. I was against Kobe, and I'm against LeBron now. And that's just the way it is. When they retire, I have a lot more respect for them. I hated Kobe Bryant. I hated LeBron. I hated Michael. And when these guys retired, and then when Kobe died, tragically, I became a huge fan of Kobe's just because of what he represents. And I have way more respect for Kobe Bryant than LeBron James. It's a weird thing. I can't root for the number one guy in the league because I'm an underdog rooter. I root for the person that has a harder time. I root for the person that doesn't have the red carpet rolled out in front of them. And that's why I cannot root for LeBron, because he's too easy to root for. That's a really big part of it right there. I treated Michael the same way when he was still playing as I'm treating LeBron today, guys. I say, fuck that guy. He gets all the help in the world and all this kind of stuff. That's what I used to say. Yeah. David saying, Hezzy, though, I'm kind of with Lex on this one. Yeah, I don't think he's helped the overall product. He may have made money for the NBA. He may have had a lot of interest and all this kind of stuff. But in some ways, he's, once again, you got to look at where they were when he came in and where they are now after his era. And the NBA is a worse product. The NBA is not, it's like way more in doubt of whether it's legitimate at this point. And he has a big part to do with that. I thought the NBA was on the up and up for the most part. And then, it started to go downhill with Tim Donaghy, the Sacramento Kings versus the Lakers, that one playoff where the refs were absolutely bad. And ever since then, I've been really doubting the referee's integrity. And LeBron is the biggest place where I doubt them. He is the biggest place right there. Yeah, Bryce is saying, well, how I see it is he has set the example of being complete. His genius mindset and the way he takes care of his body, these players are taking notes. He's went above and beyond expectations. All right, I'll break this down and I'll be a counterpoint, but I'll see if I can be fair about this. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. I don't know if is being complete. What do you mean? I mean, all right. A lot of people are saying his genius mindset because of this podcast that came out. He's bragging about being able to bust up systems at 8 years old, all this kind of bullshit. Once again, his ego is something that completely turns me off. First of all, Michael never had to go out and declare himself king of the league. Everybody knew it. And I've always thought LeBron was an idiot for having to toot his own horn so much. If you're so badass and so great, just let people talk about you and you don't need to do it yourself. In some ways, that's a big problem I have with him on that. Genius mindset. Okay, glaze him some more. I mean, listen, he has all the skills in the world, and he may be very perceptive and a step ahead of everybody else in the court and how he does things. But man, genius, come on, man, come on now. And then take care of his body. Well, there's a lot of speculation this motherfucker's on PEDs, and he's been using a lot of special kind of shit that most people don't have access to because of his extreme wealth. So, I mean, I can't get behind that either because he may have had access to stuff that the average NBA player just would not have access to. So I don't know. I'm not going to do this, guys. You guys that like the LeBron, you're not going to find the place where I'm going to be like glazing LeBron. I hate LeBron. I won't do it. I won't do it. I refuse. I refuse. And you're saying he went beyond expectations. All right, I will do this. I will say two things nice about LeBron. I really appreciate him as a family man, how he handles his family with Savannah and his children, and his philanthropy and all the things he does outside of the game, as far as charities, as far as how he's carried himself. He's no scandals. He's just like a really good, like in some ways, he's been a very good face of the league because of him not being a problematic person in general. And that's very good. And I will give him credit for that. I will give him credit for that. What's the other thing I was going to give him credit for? I don't even remember. I'll give him credit for that. All right, Smooth's got his prediction, and he's saying 106 to 99 for the Raptors. All right, Smooth is going for that. Let me just mark it down. 99 to 106 is his score prediction. All right, we got that in. Let's see. Cream's saying Toronto Raptors' longest losing streak is 16 games. So if we surpass the streak of losing, do we put an asterisk next to it? No. If we do that, we gotta take it as it is, and it'll be what it is. So that's what I would say. Yeah. And David's saying, fair enough, Bryce. I would say one more thing. In some ways, also, LeBron has really fucked up the league because of clutch. Like, that is really a bad situation to be in. There's a lot of things he's done that are kind of not really good precedents for the future. And if we have more players getting in like player representation and owning companies that do that, I don't feel like that's a good thing. I feel like that's a very similar thing to like letting the betting happen, and that there can be a lot of convoluted, like weird shit that happens as far as manipulation. I already feel like it's been happening to us because of clutch in the last 2 years. So in some ways, that's not something good that he developed, that all of a sudden now players are involved in player representation and owning the companies. I don't think that that's been a good development at all. Infamous saying that LeBron ruined basketball is like saying Justin Trudeau ruined Canada. Casual take. It has been mentioned many times that players in the past had the same player movement freedom. Yeah, but it's not it's different, though. It's very much different. Before there was hand checking, before there was a more physical kind of game, and a lot of times the fouls were warranted then. The fouls are not warranted for LeBron half the time. They really aren't. We see the stuff that happens to our players, and the stuff that happens to him is way lighter, way lighter, and he's going to the line. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be against you guys on this every single which way. This guy has stratified the league where he's in a class of his own. He gets treated a special treatment like he's the king, literally. And I'm not about that. And I think that's really hurt the integrity of the game. You guys can say, oh, this and this. And I mean, Trudeau doesn't need to be brought up in here. Maybe Trudeau did ruin Canada. I'd probably say that, the conservatives have. The conservatives have ruined this country. And I wouldn't say Trudeau did necessarily himself. But, I mean, you can say as a casual take, but I've been watching the NBA a long time, and I've checked in on the product and how it is, and I don't think Michael Jordan left in a worse place when he left. I think LeBron James is leaving the game in a worse place than when he started, and that's where I say it right there. That's where I'll say it. David's saying, well, Infamous, there are a lot of Canadians who might agree with that. Yeah, there are quite a few that probably agree with that. Stargate saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Let's just see how the fortunes in the draft turn out. I'm not holding my breath because I don't trust the league as far as I can throw them. That lottery is controlled. You know what? I wondered. I've thought about that in the past, and I've looked at patterns with it in the past. There's a little bit of fishy shit with Cleveland winning some of the lotteries around that time with Dan Gilbert and LeBron leaving. It's almost like they did restitution to him for losing James to go to Miami, and they started giving Cleveland a couple of first round picks, like really in a weird way. They didn't really pan out. One was Kyrie Irving though, and then the other one was like Anthony Bennett and stuff like that. I don't know. There was a little bit of fishy shit with that. And we can go way back and think about the frozen envelope and Patrick Ewing and one of the very early lotteries, one of the very first ones actually, where Patrick Ewing ended up getting the Knicks got the first pick, and there was they thought that maybe there was a frozen envelope, and that's how they figured it out to make sure that he'd be there. I don't know. I want to trust this process. I mean, they do it on the up and up right in front of us. That's the thing. They have it just like the weekend lottery ball for your local community. It's like Saturday night, 11. Let's see how the ping pongs come out and check your lottery ticket. Well, they do it in front of everybody. They have it televised, and you literally see the ping pong balls bounce around and come out. So in some ways, that helps the integrity of it because you literally see the process. And they'll have accountants, and they'll have all these people out there making sure it's on the up and up. That is something they will take seriously. But in the past, I've wondered about manipulation in this way, and we should not trust the NBA. You're exactly right. But if they show us the process on TV and we actually see the ping pong balls bounce around and come out of the machine in the order that they are chosen, that should help you feel confident that they did it on the right way. So that's the way I would look at it. Let's see. Good to see you, Stargate, by the way. Fiercely saying, I also really like Dennis and watching him, wishing him and his family well. Just hope he doesn't act up tonight. He can be spicy at times. He's not going to mess with us. I mean, I love it. Like Grady posted something on Instagram saying that he's Canadian or something. And Scotty said, "Are you Canadian now, guy?" In the comments. And Dennis is liking it. I think that in some ways, Dennis really bonded with our team, and he is friends with most of our guys. I think he's friends with Siakam now. I think he's friends with Anunoby. He's friends with Grady. He's friends with Scotty. And everybody thought that Dennis was a problem with his personality on our team. You were wrong. He actually really became friends with everybody. And we're probably going to see that tonight, that there are going to be some things with him and the guys on our team that are friendly and warm. And I don't see Dennis like acting out. In fact, we played him already since they traded, and they lost to us, and they helped us get Darko dinner. Remember, we played them and we got our three-game winning streak, partly from beating the Brooklyn Nets and Pascal and the Indiana Pacers in that 3-game winning streak. And Dennis was all smiles and friendly, and there wasn't any extracurricular bullshit. So I don't expect any tonight. It's all love, baby. It's all love. Nameless has got his prediction. He's saying, 115 to 102 Nets. All right. I'll mark you down. We'll see who gets the closest, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Infamous saying, David, that was my point. Justin didn't ruin Canada. I understand there are positive and negative, also the natural progression. Yeah, I mean, I just say that I can blame him because he's the figurehead. He's the most prominent person in this era. And in some ways, like I said, it's like, how do you leave the league when you're leaving it? Do we feel like it's a better product at this point? We don't. In fact, I really resent the fact that I'm a Raptors fan at this point because I hate the NBA so much. And if I didn't love the Toronto Raptors franchise so much, I would not watch the NBA. I seriously wouldn't. If I was a half-ass fan, if I did not love this team so much, I would fucking turn off the league and not watch it ever again. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. In some ways, I feel like I'm in an abusive relationship, that I shouldn't be watching the NBA at all as a Raptors fan, because what's the fucking point? We've had moments where we felt like this in the last 2 years, where the referees absolutely gave us the shaft and cheated us out of shit. And we all felt like, why the fuck do we even watch this? Scott Foster throwing Scotty out all of a sudden at the end of the game against the Nuggets. That's what I'm saying. The last time we played the Lakers, when we after that game, we all felt like, I don't want to fucking watch this league anymore, because we saw how biased the calls were for LeBron in that game against us. Y'all need to go back and watch the first Raptor game against the Lakers in LA this year and watch that game again. And seriously, think about what we're arguing about today and really understand how that hurt us. That game hurt us so bad this year. You know why? Because we were actually getting our shit together after the trades, and we were winning, and we had good momentum going. In fact, we were a little bit on the rise. Well, the NBA wanted to push us back down and protect LeBron at the same time. So they railroaded us in that game. In fact, we should have won that game. We would have Darko dinner, and we would have fucking had a whole different maybe outcome of the season. That game in LA against the Lakers really was a fulcrum, a pivot from going from really successful kicking ass with barbecue and all that to fucking losing streak, losing the Lakers because we got railroaded. And then the next night we had to play the Clippers and we lost that game too. And we were deflated because we honestly got that game stolen from us in LA this year. I want everybody who's defending LeBron and the Lakers right now to go watch the Raptors game against the Lakers again right now. If you do not believe what I'm saying, you can go watch it and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. And that's just what I'm saying. That's part of the reason why I hate the Lakers so much this year is because they're a big part of the catalyst of where it all went south for us and we got to this point at this end of the season. Before Scotty broke his hand, before we did some of the later trades, we were rolling when we showed up in LA, and they absolutely killed our momentum with a ref hit job and dick riding LeBron. That's just the damn truth. That's just the damn truth. Raceman saying, good day, Lex and crew. 104 to 1016? What the hell? That is crazy, Edmund. 1016? What the hell? All right, let me put it down. I'm going to guess you want 101. Or do you want 106? I can't tell. Man, I don't know how to do this one. Maybe Raceman, put it in again, and I'll write it again because I can't put 1016, and I don't know what your number is exactly. David's saying, yeah, I understand that. Yeah. I mean, there are positives to LeBron adding to things, but there are a lot of negatives is what I'll say. I should be fair. And you can say, yeah, it's not all negative. There is some positives, but there's mostly negatives in my mind. Let's see. Trevor is saying 118 to 99 for the Raptors. All right. I love that you guys are standing with the Raptors and you want them to win tonight. Bryce is saying, whoa, injured Lonzo over healthy Ben all day. Ben is a disgrace to the NBA and basketball. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Lonzo Ball play in so long. I can't say he's any good at this point. Bryce, how can you say that Lonzo Ball is good right now if you have not seen him play in like 2 or 3 years? You don't know how bad the injury is, and you don't know what kind of player he will be when he comes back. We can't go by what Lonzo was before the injury. We got to go. He has to come back and prove that he can play at that level again. So I'm sorry. It's a hard pass with me. And I don't know if he's better than Ben Simmons right now. He could be worse than Ben Simmons right now. And we don't know it. He has to come back and prove it and get on the court and show that he's still got it. And I cannot totally give a seal of approval on him. Let's see. Stargate saying, you cannot convince me that the league itself is not anti-Raptors success and that the league believes this team is tanking. They will make sure the draft doesn't benefit this team in any way. Well, part of what they're hoping is that the San Antonio will get our pick somehow, some way. Listen, Stargate, I get it, and I understand why you're pessimistic about this, but we've got to believe. And if they show the process on TV, we can see it for ourselves, and that will be where we will see that it's all legit. They have to show it that way. This is high-stakes shit. In some ways, they can't do this seedy in a weird way. They've got to do it exactly legitimately. And this is why they hire executive accountants to come down and handle the whole thing and oversee it. So they're hiring Ernst & Young to come down here. And they don't fuck around and come down here if it's not on the legit and the up and up. Their integrity is at stake. So I will tell you that you need to maybe trust this process as being on the up and up because they have like accountants from Ernst & Young that come down and oversee the whole thing. And most of it is publicly shown on TV. So let's not be totally pessimistic and let's just believe. We got to hope and believe that the good things are going to happen with our pick and the high pick with San Antonio and stuff. So hopefully they're not getting it and we are getting a good pick. Carlos saying also the way it is now, we are over the cap with Olynyk's contract and the upcoming IQ contract. We'll probably have more players being shipped out this offseason. Yeah, I don't know exactly the cap situation specifically, Carlo. But there's going to be some moving stuff around. And you got to understand, we got a lot of free liquid money to deal with right now, Carlos. So I don't know if this is exactly true if we're over the cap. Because honestly, our money is fluid right now because there's not a lot of people tied up on contracts. And what's going to happen is this summer, we're going to pay some people and then we'll figure it out. Bryce saying, but I didn't hear anything about him coming to Toronto. I was just saying, yeah, I'm not interested. I just not. He's not somebody that I've ever really liked. I felt like, I think he played his best ball with the Pelicans, but man, he's been hurt so much of his career. Like he's been hurt more like 2/3 of his career. I don't think he's hardly ever played, honestly. He gets hurt all the time. I'm not about it. I'm not about it. Kareem saying Raptors 95, Brooklyn 87. Okay, Kareem, let's put your score prediction down. You're saying 95 for the Raptors. I love that you guys are picking the Raptors. Most of y'all are actually. 87 for the Nets. Okay. Let's see. It's gonna be an absolute snooze fest. No, it'll be fun. We'll have goofy highlights. There's gonna be some goofy shit. Grady will do some fun stuff. We'll see probably Oshai do something amazing. You know, Kelly will do his fun shit too. Infamous saying the player that the Raptors should target is Kelly Oubre. Spelling, he would be exactly what we need. All right, you want me to do a scout? I'll do a scout. You just named the new name, Kelly Oubre. Oubre. Oh, you mean like Kelly Oubre, like Junior, the guy on fucking Philly? You're not talking about a draft pick. You're talking about Kelly Oubre, who plays for the Sixers. I mean, I don't hate him. He's on my fantasy team this year, and he's actually done really well. I mean, I'm not against it, but I don't know if he's the one I want. I don't know if he's the one I want. You're talking about Kelly Oubre Jr. You're not talking about a new player. Okay, I want to make sure. That's just a weird spelling. Let's see. Where are we? We got a wrench. That's where we're at. Trevor's the wrench looks good on you. Yeah, the coveted wrench. Yeah. Infamous saying Lonzo is not flash at all. He is a solid fundamental basketball player. He was on the Raptors' radar before the injury. His defense and offense was coming around. Yeah, but I don't believe anything he's doing at this point. Uh, uh, no, I always thought that Lonzo was like a tricky basketball dribbler. He's like all about like dribbling all kinds of stuff. And I from what I remember, and once again, I don't remember a lot because he hasn't played very recently, is he's not a very good shooter. That he doesn't have a very good 3-point shot, and that he's more of like a ball handler, creator, and that he may do more of his stuff near the basket than actually shooting from outside. Guys, if you're asking me to choose between Emmanuel Quickly and Lonzo Ball, hello, come on, man, it's a no-brainer. Just pick Quickly, seriously, because honestly, Lonzo Ball has no place on our team. We're about to invest in Emmanuel Quickly as our starting point guard. If we didn't have Emmanuel Quickly and we really need a point guard, maybe I'd be interested in this idea. But otherwise, I mean, he's damaged goods. We don't know how good he is at this point. There's no guarantee he's going to come back at any kind of level where he was before, y'all. Y'all can't just presuppose that. You really can't. You really, really, really can't. Let's see. Bryce is saying that he's a better point guard than IQ. Not saying he's better, but a true point guard, meaning is Lonzo Ball, and we could use that. Yes, his injury is scary, but I disagree with everything you said about Lonzo. He's not been. Well, I don't know, Bryce, and we'll just have to see how going forward. I don't want to take the gamble on this. I feel like the Chicago Bulls have already taken a gamble on Lonzo Ball, and they've been burned for it. So why the fuck would we want to make the same mistake the Chicago Bulls have made the last couple of years? Seriously. It's kind of like fool me once, fool me twice. Yeah, we could sign him, and then he gets hurt, and he sits on our payroll for fucking 2 years and doesn't do jack shit for us. I'm telling you, it's too risky. I much prefer IQ. In fact, the whole thing you just described is much better for our fit with Scotty than having a true point guard next to us. No, we need the shooting guard, hybrid guard of IQ next to him, not a guy who's totally the point guard who needs the ball in his hand, because we're going to give the ball to Scotty. And you guys got to understand the puzzle pieces we're building here. And the fact that we got IQ for the point guard is because Scotty's going to be on the down low running the point guard. And we need a shooter and a slasher and a guy like Emmanuel, more important than a guy who's going to distribute like Lonzo Ball. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? That's why I say Emmanuel's way better choice. Stargate saying, hopefully Bobby and Masai can finesse, maneuver, and navigate their way through this league mandated anti-Raptor agenda. Next season will be pivotal for this franchise. Yeah, we were a little too big for our britches and won the 2019 championship. And the NBA on the down low has been making it obstacle after obstacle, make it harder for us. Well, everybody's got to play by the same rules. And in some ways, this new salary cap situation has made me feel like better about our situation, because I'm going to say this. Teams that could just willy-nilly spend money and do crazy shit and just throw money and shit at the wall to try and make something stick, they can't do that anymore. Their hands are tied. The salary cap is a lot harder to deal with, and they can't have waste on their roster. So in some ways, our front office is a real blessing at this point because they don't shoot to miss. A lot of other GMs are going to have a certain level of failing on each and every move they did. Well, we have a really high percentage of doing things correctly, and that's going to really favor us in some ways with this new salary cap age where it's really tight. And you can't make a bad move or a bad contract because it really fucking hurt your team and the quality of the team you're going to be out there. So I have confidence in our front office in this new salary cap era that they're going to navigate things more confidently and competently than most of the other 29 teams in the league. So I would say that Stargate, it sounds like you're very pessimistic right now, but listen to what I just said, and hopefully that'll give you some faith. They can control only so much. And that's the thing. We have to be the rogue, the underdog badasses that overcome all of it. All of it. Yeah. G's got his score prediction. He's saying 112, 107 for the Nets. There you go. All right. We're getting some good, a lot of predictions here. Bryce is saying with Alonzo talk, let's talk. Cutting on the Lonzo talk, let's talk lottery pick. The draft and off season is super exciting. Yeah, I'm excited about it too. And listen, guys, this is a great opportunity today for us to just have differences of opinion. I understand some of you guys are big LeBron fans, and I should respect that. I am not, and I will hate on him, and that's just part of my character. It's always been that way. This is not new. I hated on LeBron, obviously, during the 2010s. I hated his ass so much. I went through all that, and that's true. That is a big reason why Toronto fans do not like LeBron. It's because of our playoff problems with him in the 2010s. This is very, very true. I'll admit that. So why do people get mad at me for hating on him? I'm being honest. Yeah, I hate him because of bullshit that happened, but I also hate him because I do feel like he's hurt our league in some ways. So, but yeah, we can disagree on Lonzo, LeBron. We can disagree on a lot of stuff, and I still want to be friends with you guys and continue what we do. It's just we got to be allowing this world to be able to have differences of opinion and be okay with it. And I'm okay with you guys liking LeBron. I'm okay with you guys being interested in Lonzo. All I can do is express my own opinions, and if you don't agree with me, that's okay. That's okay. Kareem saying Nick Claxton is going to be on Canada's Got Talent later today, and the judges are Masai, Darko, and Mo. Claxton will be a Toronto Raptor next year. That might be interesting. I won't disagree with this, Kareem. This could be true. I don't know. Our big guys are kind of getting the picture's kind of getting painted. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I don't mind Claxton in a Raptors jersey. He is definitely on my list of player that I wouldn't mind. Now, you just brought up Canada's Got Talent is going to be on this week, and apparently a friend of mine is on it this season. So if you see Dana on my friend Dana Sheeman, she's a contestant. I think she's doing air guitar. I'm not sure, but she kicked some major butt on Canada's Got Talent. So if y'all are watching that show and you see a crazy little blonde girl with tassels going all crazy with wild energy, that's a friend of mine, somebody I knew from studying improv at Second City. I've also done shows with her on stage. So yeah, that's pretty cool. You'll see my friend on Canada's Got Talent this week as a contestant. I hope she wins the million. I don't know. She wouldn't tell us on Facebook. She just told us she's on the show, but she might be the one who won, y'all, because she's that talented. Seriously. Tom Duke's saying 11 games left to lose. Let's keep that streak going, Raptors. That's right, Tom. That's right. I'm with Tom on the L train. On the L train. Dana's saying Lakers get it today for you, Lex. The Lakers get my 2-finger salute. There you go, Dana. I don't know where I am on the camera. I'm just going to do it like this and hope that I'm keeping the fingers above so I don't get in trouble. Kareem saying, I'm all about streaking, and I'll always encourage someone who's at the game to get naked and run backwards around the court. I will not bail you out, but I will start a GoFundMe page on your behalf. All right, I'm really not down with Kareem's pro streaking stance. So see, I can agree to disagree with someone on this also. All right, Kareem, you're all about the streaking on the court and nakedness. I can't get with that. I'm sorry. I'm going to agree to disagree with you on that, just like LeBron. Let's see. But I know you probably agree with me on LeBron. I'm not sure if you do. I don't know. Cowboys putting his score prediction in, and he is saying 113 to 107 for Brooklyn. All right, so he's with it. He wants to wait. You were just 1 point off from the one just before by G. Oh well, that you guys are different at least, and that's all that matters. If anybody puts the same score down, I mean, I'm going to say somebody already put that. Let's see. Info is saying my dad, MJ had help. There was the thing called the Jordan rules. How are Lakers being propped up when they are not even the number one team and are far from the favorites to win the chip? Well, that's the pathetic, sad thing about them. Seriously, the last couple of years, they've gotten all the favor and help in the world, and they're that bad. It shows the toxicity of LeBron on the team. It shows that he cannot have a team concept around him at this point. It shows that he just does not work in the NBA in the right way because he stratified himself into a whole other like universe than the rest of the NBA. I've been saying this for a couple of years now. The Lakers have failed with LeBron so bad because they let him run their team too much.
Now they backtracked on that. They're letting Rob Pelinka run it a little bit more, but it really dysfunctional that franchise in all kinds of ways. It really fucked them up when they gave so much power to LeBron a couple years ago, and they're still feeling the fallout from that. I just feel like we know, and Terrence Ross told me this on Twitch, that the NBA wants LeBron to be involved in as much stuff as possible because he means this. And if he's not, they're going to be upset. So I'm telling you, the Lakers would not be anywhere near the playoffs. They may be the worst team in the league, is what I'm saying. You're saying, oh, well, why weren't they better? That's part of the sad thing about them, is they should be so much fucking more better. And even with all that help, they're exactly where they are. So, I mean, that's what I would say about that. Jordan rules went both ways. Some people say, oh, there were Jordan rules. Yeah, well, there were bulletin points that the refs got, and they say, yeah, don't put fouls on Jordan, but call fouls for everybody else. That was definitely a rule. Jordan could not get fouls called on him. That was basically the real thing, was that he never got fouls called on him because they didn't want to get him in foul trouble, so he'd leave the game because he was TV. He was money. Now, the Jordan rules aren't always just like about the refs and how they call them. They're also about how you play them. And that was what the Jordan rules was. Joe Dumars, Brendan Malone, the father of Michael Malone, Brendan Suhr, Chuck Daly, and the Bad Boy Pistons had the Jordan rules for how to play him and how to guard him. That was something that Joe Dumars and the Pistons would talk about. It's like, these are the Jordan rules. This is how we're going to handle him and take care of him. But there was also a thing called the Jordan rules where the refs would never call fouls on him. Now, I'm not saying that this is part of the problem with LeBron is he's very physical with everybody. He's hitting people, and he doesn't get called for jack shit, much like LeBron, like Michael did before. But this is the thing, there is definitely a favoritism for the number one guy in the league, no matter what. It's just that I can't believe how open in front of our faces how it is at this point. In the past, some of the stuff that happened with Michael, you could kind of say, okay, yeah, you got to give him respect for who he is in this league. At this point, any kind of like giving him credit or favor because of respect for LeBron is just overdone at this point. It's just like, wow, you guys really, really, really like, and you got to wonder how much of his career has been propped up this way. It's really, really sad. I mean, I hate it. I wish they just treat him like everybody else, and they don't. They don't. Cowboys saying, Dana, you got my vote. Lakers and Brooklyn and everywhere. Team in the NBA get my 2-finger salute. Okay. Okay. David saying, I don't know what's happening, but MJ is the GOAT, bro. Yeah, he's the GOAT of his era, and we'll say LeBron's the GOAT of his. And the eras can just era. Stargate saying JFL can kick rocks. Send him back to Chicago. The selfish comments he made in the beginning of the season were insulting. And until he apologized, I personally don't want him here. That's just me. Well, he went on Open Gym episode last week and said he wants to be in Toronto as long as possible. I think he found out of the year that he misstepped with his statement at the beginning of the year, and now he's trying to circle back and say, no, I do want to be in Toronto as much as possible. So he has kind of apologized on that, and he has made it clear that it is not what his intention is, that he would like to be in Toronto long term if he can be. So there's a little bit of that, but I'm not interested in JFL for very specific reasons that I've already said on this stream many times in the last couple days. David saying, will WWLLL. Are you just putting in all of the outcomes for the rest of the games this season? That's crazy. Seymour saying, Stargate, what did he say? Well, at the very beginning of the season, JFL had his first interview with the Raptors 905, and he says, I want to get as much development here while I'm here right now. And he's like, while I'm here. And I read into it and said, well, he sounds like he's already thinking about the next move after the Raptors 905. That he's like, okay, this is just a temporary spot. I'm coming in. I'm going to learn from them for a year, and then I'll move on next summer. That's kind of the feeling I got from him, and that's what I said. But he maybe did not have that intention. He just misspoke, and I interpreted it that way. So I have to be fair. In some ways, the stuff that was said at the beginning of the season was an interpretation of what he said that I made. And it may not be actually what he intended to say. He just misspoke. Let's see. Monique saying, as most of you know, today is a hard day, but I have a successful life, cerebral palsy day. I'm happy about tonight, though. That's right, guys. This month is Green Ribbon Month. It's a cerebral palsy awareness month. And Monique is celebrating it today and just wants everybody to understand that cerebral palsy is something that people, live their lives with very fully and happily. It's like Monique has all kinds of great things happening in her life with family, friends, Raptors games like the one she's going to today, and people like us, the Raptor Freak family. And like her life is very rich. And in some ways, people need to know that like, sure, you can feel bad for her, but you shouldn't, because she has a really good life and she's happy. And it's important to have awareness that even if people are having to have conditions like cerebral palsy, it doesn't mean that they don't get a full and enriching life and they can't do things in life like everybody else can. And that's an important message that I was learned when I was very young, when my neighbor had CP and he would drive me to school every day. And it's like, I never looked at him as any different than any other dad in the neighborhood, even though he had CP, and he was driving the car and driving me to school every morning. So that right there proves something to you, that somebody with CP was driving the car, driving me to high school when I was a young person. And that's why when I was young, I never thought people with CP were any different, because I had a really good example in my life of somebody who wasn't different, even though they had CP. Yeah, and he had a pretty strong case of CP too. It wasn't like a mild case of CP Mr. Harder had. Yeah, but we're always celebrating Monique, and we are definitely going to celebrate CP Day with her today, Green Ribbon Day, awareness for cerebral palsy. Wayne's saying tonight's game against the Nets is basically a glorified G League game. Kobe Simmons, Liberty Freeman, Mo Gee, Jonte Porter's not playing. He's out. Grady Dick. I don't see any connectivity between them and Kelly or Gary or Oshai. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're trying to say here. I mean, there's definitely guys that are on the Raptors right now that will be here next year, and there are guys that will not, for sure. And as I was saying the other day, it may be kind of 50-50 and maybe a little bit more 40-60, 60 staying. I don't know. We'll have to see what Masai and Bobby do this summer. Seymour saying, going to pick up my new ride at 11 a.m. I'm stoked. Nice. All right, Seymour, go get that new ride. Dap on you. Wayne saying, hope it's not electric, Seymour. Whoa, why? What's wrong with this electric car, Wayne? Electric cars are great. I would love to get an electric car. I mean, as soon as I can get away from oil, I would do it myself. Yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of misinformation about their electric cars right now. A lot of people are trying to say, oh, they're worse for energy. I don't believe that shit. This is the oil companies paying money to people to make a bunch of propaganda that's anti-electric. They start talking about, oh, mining it is so bad. You're like subjugating people in other countries. That's bullshit. Oil companies subjugate people left and right all over the place in all kinds of just as bad ways, if not worse. And I don't even think that I think there's just a lot of misinformation that people are putting out there to make it seem like electric is not good for people. It's absolutely wrong. Electric cars are the way to go. And the more you can go electric, the better. They're actually figuring out the technology to manufacture the batteries in the right way so they don't have to mine all the minerals that everybody's talking about. This is a problem. There's all kinds of people putting ingenuity and thought, human thought, and figuring out innovation to get around some of the problems, maybe with resource scarcity. And I think that, once again, I will caution everybody who's anti-electric. This is all due respect to you, Wayne. There is a lot of propaganda that's being bought for and paid for by the oil giants to put out misinformation to make people anti-electric. And there's just a lot of just bullshit out there. Some of it is really crazy. And I read it and I'm like, oh my gosh. We've got to realize there's a lot of people putting ideas into our heads that just aren't true. And they're manipulative. And they're for money reasons. And everything anti-electric right now is very much the oil giants trying to pay to keep their racket going. Because honestly, they can see it slipping. If there's more and more green stuff going on with emissions taxes and carbon taxes, their fucking shit's going to go away because it's not good business. And the electric stuff is the stuff we need to go towards more and more. So I'm going to disagree with Wayne, even though he's saying it shouldn't be electric. Infamous saying, I'm not a LeBron stan. I respect all great players. MJ, Kobe, Dr. J, Kareem, Bill Russell, etc. We do ourselves a disservice by pushing false info to the Novus fan. Yeah, I don't know what you are or anything. I'm definitely not a LeBron stan myself. I mean, listen, I'll celebrate LeBron when he retires. I feel like he's overstayed his welcome to a degree right now, and he needs to fucking go. Like, he just needs to retire. He needs to retire because he has connections to representation. He has too much going on with him that is kind of too murky and making things seem like not totally on the up and up. So in some ways, his presence being the league at this point hurts it, because I feel like it hurts the integrity of it, taking it seriously as an up and up league. Now, if he goes and he's not so paramount, obviously getting so much favoritism, that'll help me feel like the league is more fair and balanced overall, is part of it right there. So Seymour saying nothing special, just a 2019 Santa Fe black on black. Nice. That sounds like a cool ride. Sounds like you can get around good on that. I'll be getting a new vehicle soon too, myself, actually. Seymour saying, Wayne, nope, electrical vehicles suck in the cold. I can see that being an issue as far as like kinetics, and you need kind of like things moving around and stuff. But once again, I will say all this technology is going to be inevitable, and the innovation and the problems that we come across will get figured out, because we honestly need to do this. We really do. And it's already too late. Things are going to change with our climate, and we're going to suffer for it. And some people say, well, what's the point? We'll just keep adding to it. Well, I mean, okay. But I mean, we're just continuing to add to the problem. And I feel like at some point, people are just going to be like, wow, we were so dumb. We just let a lot of really rich Saudi Arabians make a bunch of money off us, and we just completely destroyed the planet. And that's where I stand on that for sure. Seymour saying at Wayne, nope, nope. And Cowboys saying, hopefully it comes with snow tires. No more snow. Jeez. Randolph saying, blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang on game day. What a joy to be alive and to share the blessings of this another day. Let's enjoy the wins and losses and grow. There you go, Randolph. I like it. I've been giving you dunks for your blessings lately. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to give Randolph so positive all the time. And he was very appreciative of the gifted sub by David yesterday. Or Tom. Tom was the one who gave it to him. So 14, you got the Muggsy Bogues 14. Randolph Phillips. Seymour saying Cowboy all seasons tire. Okay. Seymour wants 108 to 93 for the Nets. All right, Seymour. Marking Seymour down. 108 to 93 Nets. All right. I got that one. Let's keep the streak going. We need a talented rookie. I'm with you on that. Monique's got her pick, and she's saying 110 to 98 for the Raptors. 98 and 110. All right. Seymour saying, just think the combo of Scotty, Grady, Edie, RJ, IQ with Pirtle is the future. I like that future. I can get behind that. Cowboys saying, yep, the future is bright. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Fiercely saying, okay, one last comment about the GOAT conversation. Wasn't MJ also known for his defensive prowess? LeBron lacks in that department. Tonight scoring, Raptors win 112 to 103. All right, Fiercey. Wow, we're getting a good list of everybody picking their picks. It's crazy. I don't have my camera working on the day when we're very active. There's a lot of us here today. All right, 103 to 112, Fiercey. Okay. Yeah, no, this is exactly right. Michael Jordan was very much a two-way player. He was very good at the defensive end. He was always in the leaders of steals, and he was such a good one-on-one guard. He was very good on defense. I would give, Michael's a better defender than LeBron at his position. I really do believe that. Cowboys saying, if we lose tonight, does that bump us up to 69%? I'm not totally sure. We'll check it tomorrow. We'll see how it is. As of right now, it's 65. It's actually 66%. We're going to keep up there, 66% at this point. So it's not that bar. Bryce is saying, wasn't Michael Jordan defending firemen and local business owners? Michael Jordan defending. Oh, you're trying to say the league wasn't that good? That's bullshit. That's another youth mistake. Yeah, no, the league wasn't like that. Everybody thinks there's such a talent gap between the very top players. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. Clyde Drexler wasn't that far off from Michael Jordan. Gerald Wilkins, the card of the day, was actually a very good player. If you saw this guy play, you'd be like, that guy's got hops and he's throwing it down. That's the most, in some ways, that's one of the most insulting things you could say when you start talking about people being plumbers and shit in the old days. Now, if you want to really go back, Bryce, you can say in the 50s when it was all white guys and there was no black guys playing the NBA, sure. If you want to say that, guys weren't as healthy or good with their nutrition and eating and working out, and, because they didn't have the best trainers, they didn't have all the knowledge of sports nutrition and supplements and all this stuff, sure, you could say that. But these guys in their days were just as strong and athletic, and in some ways they were tougher, because they had to ride on buses or they had to take coach and economy. They didn't go on first class flights. There's all kinds of different reasons why the guys back then were way tougher than the guys right now. And to say that these guys were plumbers or firemen or whatever other job you're trying to say is absolute horse crap. If you watch Michael when he played in the league, a lot of the other teams had really good players. Reggie Miller could look him eye to eye and he could try and go toe to toe with him. That is such a mischaracterization that the 80s, the 90s had like really bad players over on the league. That's absolute horse shit. It's absolute horse shit. And a lot of those guys that played in the 80s and the 90s could play today, and they probably kick the guys now asses, partly because they put them on their butts. So, no, I can't get behind this. You maybe could say plumbers were playing in the 60s and the 50s, but you can't say that about the 80s and the 90s when Michael played. You cannot say that. That's just not accurate. Not accurate at all. Not accurate. Let's see. David's saying, I don't know, man, but he's the GOAT. Carlos saying LeBron got his accolades because of his longevity, which is amazing by itself, but there's no beating Michael. He had that killer instinct. I don't even want to say it's Michael versus LeBron. I'm okay with saying guys can be their best in their different eras. I was okay with that. We figured that out the other day. It's like the GOAT conversation doesn't have to be Michael versus LeBron. I'm totally fine with saying LeBron is the GOAT of his era and Michael is the GOAT of his era. And I think we can just leave it at that. There's no reason to have conflict over this. There's no reason for sure. Cowboy saying, how are we having a GOAT conversation without mentioning Scotty Barnes? All right, Cowboy, you want to get a dunk for a very positive thing to say. I like it. 38 for you, my guy. 38 dunks for a Cowboy. Let's see. Bryce is saying Kobe took that killer instinct to another level. Well, without Michael, there's no Kobe. And he would tell you that. He would tell you that. Everything that his mindset was from Michael. I don't know if that's actually true. We'd have to. I don't know how you measure that, actually. Like the whole crazy Mamba mentality. How do you measure Mamba mentality in Michael and Kobe and really try and determine who's what? In some ways, we could say, just like somebody said, Michael never went to the finals and lost, and I believe Kobe did. So once again, that in itself kind of says something right there. Michael would not allow himself to lose. LeBron and Kobe have, whether they allowed themselves to lose or they just lost, they did lose. And that's the difference. I believe Kobe lost to the Spurs in the finals. Well, that never fucking happened to Michael. Michael beat the Jazz twice. He beat the Sonics. He beat fucking Lakers. He beat the Suns. He beat everybody he played in the finals. Every single time he went in the finals, he beat every single fucking team. And it was different teams. And, Kobe had mixed results. And the Lakers did get propped up, obviously, especially that year when they railroaded Sacramento in the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Let's see. David saying, all right, then, anyone other than MJ can be the GOAT. Name is saying 16-game losing streak record, and we're still not last. Wow, what's that say about these other franchises right now? Yeah, they're pretty bad. They're very, very bad. David's saying, sorry, my keyboard is all messed up this morning. Yeah, is that why you're in caps? Okay, it's all good. I don't mind you yelling. Carlos saying, I think having that level of killer instinct makes you a bad teammate, though, from all accounts. MJ seems to be a big asshole. Oh, yeah. And he recently came out and had that interview where he's saying, like, it's such a joke that these losers in the league right now are celebrating just playing 65 games. He's like talking about John Stockton didn't miss a game for like 5 years straight. And, he's right. He's right in some ways like that. He doesn't respect the players today. And if he tried to coach, as he said recently, he would be fucking cussing them out and telling them to fuck off. And he'd just throw his hands up and say, I can't work with y'all. Y'all are not. It's a level of excellence that he holds that other people just can't hold the same kind of level of excellence as him. And that's why he punched Steve Kerr out in practice. That's why he cussed his teammates out all the time. That's why Kobe Bryant made rookies cry all the time in his career. There was all kinds of crazy shit that Michael and Kobe did to their teammates that made them absolutely feel like shit. But it was because their eyes, they were bringing the excellence up of the team, and they had a standard that they wanted everybody to carry if they were going to be on the same team with him. I got to admire that. In some ways, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad teammate. That's the leader on your team's pushing you to be better. And if you don't fall in line, well, he's going to be mad at you. And, well, you got to live with that. Michael's pissed at you, Will Purdue, because you didn't fucking box out. Shit like that was going to happen. And in some ways, that's the drive and the will to want to be better. When we may see Scotty telling guys on the way out of the court things that they may not want to hear. He may want to be that kind of leader like Kobe and Michael and be a little hard ass and tougher on his teammates. to make them rise up, to light a fire in their asses. So I don't think this is a bad quality by a player. I think that it's a little psycho, yeah, the way they acted, but also at the same time, they got results. And that may be what it takes sometimes to be a little psycho about excellence and bringing your teammates up with a little bit of abuse, to be honest. It was a little abusive. Maybe there's no place for that in today's league of softies and, oh, my feelings, Ben Simmons' feelings, oh, bullshit like that. There may be no place for a person like Michael in the way that he was as a teammate at this point because they're all big babies. I love Scott to be like Kobe and Michael. If he wants to be a badass and like tell all his fucking teammates, you better be better. Like, and he's going to ream them out like that because he's holding them to a high level, I'd be okay with that. Seriously. If he's walking the walk and he's doing things a certain way himself and he wants the other guys to be more like him, well, he should be the standard bearer because in some ways he will pick us up and take us to the top with that kind of like quality control. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. He is an asshole. He was a bad teammate at times, but he had to do that because this is serious shit. It's the NBA. Yeah, David's saying he had one goal and only one goal, and that was not to make friends. That's for sure. Yeah, in some ways, I really respect that. I really do. I really do. Cowboy saying, I love it when Lex turns his head and stares into the Justin Bieber's eyes and rants. How do you know I'm staring at Justin Bieber? He is who I'm staring at. How did you know that? That's funny. That is funny, and that is true. I was staring at Justin Bieber. That's hilarious. Cowboy, I'm going to give you a 3-pointer for that one. 41. Kelly Olynyk. You got the Kelly Olynyk 41 now. Yeah, that's funny. Alley-oop to Cowboy. I already gave him a 3. I gave him a 3. We'll count that. Let's see. And what is that? The little. All right, I got to find the faces again. Okay, Tom's laughing. David's saying we're not even keeping that pick if we get it. Ironically, what do you mean? We're not even keeping that pick if we get it. Ironically, you think that we're going to trade it even if we win the lottery and we keep the pick? We're going to turn around and trade it anyway. That could be. Fiercely saying, laughing at Cowboy. I kept wondering what Lex looks at when he tilts his head toward that. Right is right. Lex proved Cowboy wrong and showed Justin Bieber isn't that. You're right. Well, he's right here. It is him. I do that. Like I get into a mindset where I'm thinking and I'm kind of like close my eyes and I'm kind of thinking. I don't know. I've been doing that a lot lately. I've noticed. I may stop doing that. I may stop doing that because y'all pointed it out now. David's saying, what's there to know? He hasn't played in 5 years. Lonzo. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Lonzo. I don't think Lonzo makes a comeback. I don't know if he's going to. Like some people speculate whether he has the ability to play basketball at this point. I don't want to gamble on that. I really don't, especially if there's a bunch of money involved. No. I don't want to gamble on that. I don't want to gamble with the Raptors salary cap money on whether Lonzo Ball can still play in the NBA. No, I don't want to do that. Name is saying facts, Lex. Facts with the LA game being the turning point of the season. Yeah, I really made me mad that game. And it made me really hate the Lakers even more this season. The game we played against them already. We're going to play the Lakers one more time, y'all, at the beginning of next month. And I fully expect them to do some crazy shit in that game also. That game will be here in Toronto when the Lakers come to Toronto and LeBron comes here. Yeah. Fiercely saying that LA game crushed our spirits. Yeah, we were on a roll and it totally crushed our spirits. We after that trade and the vibes were immaculate. Fuck the Lakers times 1,000. Exactly. That is what I'm trying to say, guys. Is that game really was the biggest fuck up like change in our strategy of what we're doing this season. Is they killed our vibes. They killed our really good momentum. They killed the good spirits that we're feeling after the IQ RJ trade in the LA game with the refs fucking us over. Let's see. Race Mode saying when 23 left, the fans were looking for the next Jordan. LeFlop is a savant and can remember every play of the game. His IQ is impressive, but it's the one thing I don't agree with Chev. LeBron is a 23 fan. Interesting stuff. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Listen, I'm anti-LeBron. I'm just going to have to be that way. If you guys are for LeBron, that's fine. We can coexist. I won't bring him up unless we need to talk about him because we're playing him or stuff like that. It's come up just because last night was egregiously bad against our guy Siakam and the Pacers. It really pisses me off to see that kind of stuff. And I mean, all y'all watched the game. You saw it. I didn't see it. I can look at the box score. I can understand where it would happen. And I can kind of see some of the stuff in the box score that is happening with the favoritism. And that's all I can say. Bryce is saying, to clarify this, I don't think Lonzo is better for us than Emmanuel. I'm very happy with him. I see Lonzo as a nice piece off the bench, not as a starter in no way. I don't know if he's that, though. I feel like he's a starter unless he's not able to play very well and his level of plays. Then he's got to get paid a different number. That's the one thing that Evo said to me when I asked this question. How do you know which role the guy should be in? And he said, he basically said, it depends on their salary and how much they make, whether we play them or not. And that's true. So, like, if Lonzo's getting starter pay, he should be a starter. You don't want to pay a guy off the bench if they're getting starter pay. And that's the one thing I would wonder about that. Bryce, we're all good, man. We're all good. It's interesting to talk about Lonzo Ball. It's interesting. David's saying that sure is one pricey bench piece. Yikes. Yeah, that's what I would wonder about. Race Mode saying, can we dream for a second? What does the starting lineup look like next year? Well, it's Emmanuel, RJ, Scotty, Jakob, and a mystery fifth player, Edmund. I don't know who that player is going to be yet. We'll have to see. It could be Grady. It could be Gary. It could be a whole new, completely different person. It could be a high draft pick in this draft. It could be a free agent sign. It could be something like that. I don't know. Fiercely saying, good luck to your friend Dana, Lex. Yeah, y'all watch that show and support her. She's a rock star. She literally is. She's competed in the air guitar championships, the world championships, a few times and actually finished in the top 3. Like, I don't know. I don't think she won straight up. Or maybe she did win one year. I know she got runner up one year and then the next year she came back. But this is a real thing. The air guitar world championships. She went to Finland to compete in this or something. She went to Scandinavia and got on stage with people from all around the world doing air guitar and doing all that stuff. And she placed. And I think that's what she's doing in Canada's Got Talent. We'll have to see because that's what she did well in competitions before. So yeah, watch out for Dana Sheeman on Canada's Got Talent this week. I think she said she's on tomorrow's show at Tuesday. Yeah, David's saying IQ, RJ, Abaji, Barnes, and Claxton. That's the starting lineup you see, David. What about Pirtle, guy? Pirtle should be in there. Raceman saying, I didn't mean 99 to 1016, but I'll stick with it. Well, why don't you just fix it? 99 to 1016. All right, I'm not going to put you down if you're not serious. I can't do that because if you're going to make me do high-level math afterwards when I try and subtract that from the score. Come on now. Claxton. Yeah. Cowboy saying, I like Claxton also, but don't you think he will cost us too much money? I don't know. If the price is right. I don't know if he's necessary for next year, though. I feel like our center stuff is getting filled up with Pirtle and Olenek on contract. And if we get Edey, then it's like in some ways we don't necessarily need Claxton. Kareem saying at Race Mode, putting 10 toes down, standing on motherfucking business. Respect. He's just going to put it in. All right. Man, I don't want to put that in. It's just such a joke. 99. All right, fine. I'll fucking put it in. It's ridiculous. And you're coming in last. So don't worry about it. You'll be last. All right. Because he's standing on business. All right. Let's see. Seymour saying watching on 1.5, playing catch up. All right, Mustard. If you Mustard, do that. Fiercely saying race mode. 1 IQ, 2 RJ, 3 Scotty, 4 Claxton or Linux, and 5 Yak. Yeah, that's a big lineup. That's a very big lineup. I don't hate it. I don't know. Linux shouldn't start. He should be our backup center. We need a shooting guard, so it's hard to dream right now. Better picture during or after the offseason. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We got moves to make. Chris is saying one last thing on LeBron. When he made that comment about being the best player, even after ever after the Cavs title, I was like, please, you can't say shit like that. Let others judge you as the best. I know that's the problem I have. In some ways, he doesn't need to declare stuff. We should just tell him. People should tell him that. And that's what we did with Michael. And that's the big difference between those two guys. Michael never, ever did any politicking or tooting his horn to say, I'm the best. We just all knew it. It just was undeniable. Even if I didn't like Michael back in the day, I knew he was the best player in basketball. In fact, I thought he was the best player of all time at that time, even though I didn't like him. So, I mean, that's the thing in some ways. I look at that. Fiercely saying 1103. All right. Trevor saying Nicholas Claxton's agent said he's not happy in Brooklyn because he's not getting enough touches. So the Raptors should go get him. He's a free agent this year. Well, if it makes sense, the money's right, then Country Kong saying, Lex, there's a chance we use the 31st pick to draft Bronny James. And he's an excellent guard defender with athletic and playmaking upside. We should resolve any issues we have with LeBron while we can. Yeah, I'm not about that plan. I think that plan's ridiculous, and I wouldn't endorse it. I don't think LeBronny's going to get drafted, guys. I think that the news about him has come out. The truth has come out, And that, like, there's a lot of hype and bullshit about him. Like what you just said sounds like spin that they're trying to put out there. He's an excellent guard defender with athletic and playmaking upside. Well, that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that front offices know the truth about Bronny, and he's not even going to get drafted. That he's going to be like Marquise Noel. He's going to be an undrafted person, and somebody may sign him, and then all of a sudden he can go whatever team. In fact, that may work out for the Lakers. They can keep LeBron, and they'll get Bronny after the draft in a fucking undrafted thing. I don't think he's going to get drafted, JP. I think he's fool's gold. I think that he's only a name, and I don't think he's as good as everybody thinks he is. And if the Lakers want to waste their time bringing him in and doing what they're going to do, go ahead. You already got Scottie Pippen Jr. for a little while. You go ahead and just get all these sons of players and just put them on the team and think that they're good. Yeah, we tried Ron Harper Jr. recently. We get it. There's nepotism. There's nepotism in this league. And honestly, I don't believe in Bronny. I think that he will go undrafted and he will sign wherever, and maybe he'll just go where his dad is and stay on the Lakers. So I'm not about this. I hate this idea. I do not want Bronny on our team just to get LeBron. I feel like that's ridiculous. And I wouldn't do it. Kareem saying 5, Yak, 4, Olenek, Scotty, RJ, and IQ. Yeah, that's not the best starting lineup. Once again, I'll say Kelly should come off the bench, and we'll get a shooting guard, either a shooting guard or a forward. Bryce is saying, well, to be the best, you have to believe it. Well, Michael believed it, but he kept it to himself. This is part of why I'm saying Marquise Noel's approach to things right now is very wrong. In some ways, dude, prove it. It's more actions than words. You know, words don't mean jack shit. It's like actions speak louder than words. Go out and do it, and then people will say it for you. And Marquise saying, oh, I'm going to be the greatest, I'm all this. It just shows he's unconfident about his situation right now. Noel, chill out. You don't need to say anything right now. Just get better and come back and let your game do the talking. Seriously, you got to chill on that. You got to chill on that. You see how Chris said he did not respect LeBron for coming out and declaring that kind of shit. In some ways, you don't determine that. You know, your peers and the experts and the people that watch and the general consensus determines whether you're the greatest of all time. You know, in some ways, it's just arrogance. In some ways, that puts people off right there. In some ways, it's like, look, it's good to have a healthy ego, but in some ways, arrogance and cockiness is different than confidence. Let's just put it that way. Let's see. Cowboys got Mo on blast, and Fiercely saying, happy CP Day, Monique. Yeah, it's really, really celebrate Monique for, you know, and keep awareness of that for sure, guys. MSJ saying, I thought the early JFL comments showed a lack of self-confidence more than anything, but he's a contact man now, a contract man or what? I'll cheer him on. Yeah, I know you're big on JFL, but I don't believe in him. We'll see who's right. Davis saying, until he can't hit a bucket, then we'll take him out back like Flynn. That's the thing. I don't want JFL invested in if he's going to be just Malachi Flynn version 2. I mean, I could see that happening. I really, really could. In some ways, there's a lot of parallels between Malachi and JFL. These guys are ballers. They're hoopers. They can really hoop. Well, does that translate, Malachi? Did Malachi Flynn's 80 points at Seattle Pro-Am translate to a real NBA career? No, it does not. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. In some ways, Freeman Liberty may have some Flynn in him. And he's not the kind of player you want to invest in on your team. Trust me. All right, let's see. Most saying, W Stream Lex, keep at it always. Good times approaching. Go Raptors for life, regardless of the situation. You go to the game tonight, Monique, and support your Raptors the right way. Bring the vibes down there, and hopefully we'll see what happens. Mess around, get a win. Okay. If we don't win, hey. Fiercely saying, Lex, I was looking into getting an electric as they have officially advised Quebec dealerships will only sell them as of 2035. If you want those with fuel, it has to be bought before. But for now, too, many obstacles, especially for someone like me who drives a lot, can't be stopping to charge the car and delay my travelings. I will say this, you know, the technology is still being innovated. In some ways, this is so stupid. We should have been way further along with this, and the people paying against it have been doing this since 100 years ago, to be honest. When the first car came out, there really were electric cars right away, but the gas companies really wanted to have a market, so they really killed the electric car at a couple of different places throughout time. This is not a new thing. There were electric cars around the 50s, and they really, really did a whole hit job on it. It's very similar to, like, you know, back in the day, you know what they used to say on TV? That smoking was good for your health, that the cigarette smokes were good for your health. And they have Fred Flintstone on a cartoon in a commercial smoking cigarettes saying, they're good for your health. The doctors recommend you smoke a pack a day. That this is they will lie to us. They will lie to us. And then they went to the cigarette companies and sued them for lying all these years about what cigarettes do to us. So what I'm saying is there's people that will pay a lot of money to make it sound like electrics are not good for us. And they've been holding electric down for years and years. And they're doing it even more intensified at this point because electric's starting to win. And electric was, in Toronto, I see Teslas everywhere, and it's good. Now I get it. There's limitations with range. There's limitations with different things, but there's ways around this. And there's other stuff going on, like in Europe. There's train that runs on wind. It doesn't even run on any kind of thing, and it's just the wind blows it, and it goes real fast. There's all kinds of other alternatives other than fossil fuels, and the fossil fuel companies have put out so much propaganda to muddy every single other one, whether it's Donald Trump saying stupid shit about wind turbines killing birds or some shit like that, or they're worse for us, or they give us cancer. There's just so much bullshit misinformation. And it's the same kind of shit as the cigarettes companies telling us that the cigarettes are healthy for you in like the 50s. So we just need to realize that. I love that your province is doing that. That's the right direction. And this is the thing, where our technology with electric cars would be further along if it wasn't held back for so fucking long by the gas companies. That they would have developed a half of the shit in the 80s by now if they hadn't held it back, not given any funding, done every single fucking thing propaganda-wise to try and stop electric vehicles for many, many decades. Like almost 100 years, to be honest, y'all. So in some ways, we got to catch up. And human innovation will fix any of these problems we have with the complaints about electric vehicles. We can fix all this shit and make the better version in the next version. Trust me, we can. We will figure it out. We will figure it out. That's right. All right, Wayne saying lexicon. It's not about the environment. I'm for that. However, what's the cost of ownership? What's the lifespan of the battery? What's the replacement cost of the battery? 25,000. Good luck. Well, that's what I'm saying. They've made it so it's hard for things to deal with because in some ways they don't want it to be easy for us to all switch to electric. Now you can say like, okay, all right, what are the two things? What are the costs of ownership? Well, my parents have a hybrid right now, and it's really fantastic. They barely spend any money on gas. In fact, the car charges itself, and they've driven this vehicle from Atlanta to Toronto like it's no problem. So the range issues can be met with hybrid. Now, what you do is you get the hybrid vehicle that does both electric and gas, and you have the gas as an emergency, but primarily you drive on the electric charge. In fact, I've driven that vehicle with my family last summer, and I've seen it actually increase the mileage that we get just from the charge of the electricity. We will go and we'll fill up the tank like maybe once every 2 weeks, and it's very, very small. And meanwhile, you're driving the vehicle around, and all of a sudden it says, oh, you have 400 miles left. And then you see an hour later, you have 420 miles left on your charge because the car will actively be charging itself on its own. The emergency tank is there if you're in trouble and you kick into it. But most of the time, the car is smart and it's using the electricity from the electric. Now, I know this is part of the propaganda that's supposed to scare us, Wayne. What you're saying, what's the replacement cost of the battery? What's the lifespan of the battery? That's the shit that they're trying to make you worry about. And maybe some of it's true, what some of them are saying, but they're making it sound the worst possible scenarios. I don't know how long these batteries last. I don't know how this kind of stuff happens. But in the long run, they're going to innovate and make it more and more better. And if there's more of these products coming out, the people that are going to try and get the most people sold, they're going to make the product better and better. That's what the whole system of capitalism is supposed to work, is innovation. You get better products, competition. So that's what I'm saying. Any of the issues that you guys have, they will be worked out more and more in the years to come. And it's just a lot of the propaganda that they're putting out there to turn us off from. They're putting that price tag in front of you, Wayne, to make you kind of feel like, oh, no, I don't want to. But listen, seriously, if you start with the baby step. If you don't truly fully trust an electric vehicle straight up 100%, get the hybrid like my folks and straddle the line, and you'll save money anyway. And it'll be good for the environment anyway, because you will not use as much gas. So I would say this, you could have an electric vehicle that's a hybrid that still runs on gas, and it'll get around a lot of different stuff. Now, a lot of the stuff with the batteries, the minerals that are used for the batteries, a lot of the propaganda about that is made up by the oil companies, and they just want to make people think that this is very not sustainable. In fact, we could look at what they do in their model with the fossil fuels extraction of this planet. That is definitely not It's sustainable. And in some ways, they just want to fucking keep their gravy train running. So the profits they make off of their gravy train are paid and put into propaganda that tells you that the electric stuff is just not a good idea. That's just what I got to say. I mean, does that not check what I'm saying right now? And that number, I mean, that may be when told to you by a lobbyist for the oil company. Oh, you don't want electric. What if your battery dies? You're going to have to pay $25,000 for that. You know, what the fuck? I mean, we will figure it out. The hybrid car is the best way to go in some ways. David's saying, well, you got to stop for gas. It's about the same with the new Tesla supercharger. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what you're saying there. Race Mode's saying, buy the Toyota hybrid system. Thank me later. The fuel efficiency and savings and reliability, I sound like a commercial. See, that's kind of what I'm saying right now. Race Mode is saying exactly what I was saying just a couple minutes ago, as far as like get the hybrid and it will save you money. You will barely ever spend any money on gas. Trust me. And if you do have to fill it up, it's like very cheap. You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked. Fiercely saying it changes your whole scheduling, and being OCD would freak out in cases of freezing rain and power failures, stuck on the road because there are only 3 spots to recharge, but it's 2024, it'll evolve. Well, they don't want you to have charging stations. They're trying to hold it back. In fact, every little inch of how to put off electric conversion, the oil companies will fight it in every kind of way. And they're going to tell you all this shit to be worried about. Half of it is bullshit, by the way. Half of it is absolute horse crap. And, you know, the best thing to do is to go talk to somebody who has a Tesla or an electric car. Go talk to somebody who has a hybrid car and get the straight facts on it. They'll tell you the pluses and minuses about it. And you may be very shocked about the pluses and be like, well, this is worth this. They told me this would be something I worry about this. I worry about this. No, you shouldn't worry about the car being cold, because it's charged. It'll be fine in the morning. They're just telling you that bullshit. It doesn't have anything to do with it, the weather and the temperature and stuff like that. It won't hurt the car. You have the car in the garage and you warm it up. You can take it and you drive it out and it's already warmed up. It's fine. You know, there's a lot of bullshit out there, just like with anything right now these days, and trying to shape opinion. And there's anti-electric people out there that are putting out a ton of misinformation right now. So I don't even know if after this shit would actually be a problem. Freezing rain, power failures. I don't know if that actually is stuff you should be worried about, Fiercey. Until you actually go and get the cars or talk to somebody who had the cars, then you can understand what the truth is. That's what I would say. Yeah, Trevor's giving a gifted subscription to Imran. Well, congratulations, Imran, on getting a gifted membership from Trevor J. I like it. David's saying there are more than 3 chargers within 3 meters of this building. So not so bad, really. Now, there's our daily fire truck. I would say this, that the charging stations were more prevalent around Toronto at this point. I think there's a huge amount of electric cars in this community. I see Teslas everywhere. And I would say that this is going towards that in all kinds of ways. So it's obvious that this kind of stuff is going to be popping up. You may need to see where the places are around you, Fiercey, and really understand where your good spots are to go and do what you need to do with this. You know, the technology is changing very quickly. So it could be that it's a lot more feasible than you think. You just got to go look into it more. And don't listen to some people. I'm telling you, you got to talk to people that actually have the cars. They will tell you. They will tell you. Let's see. Fiercely saying hybrid would be preferable for someone like me. If electric fails, I'd feel comfortable with a backup. I believe this should apply to all aspects of life and basketball. Having a plan B. DAP, for sure, Fiercely. I mean, I wouldn't trust my parents driving from Atlanta, Georgia to Toronto in a car that is, like seriously, think about it. They're driving this hybrid from there to there, and they're not using as much gas as you think. They're driving on the electric to get up here primarily. You know, they do have to fill up and they do have to use some gas in certain ways, but that peace of mind that you're talking about, that may be the route to go right there. Seriously. Carlos saying, I love watching these Pacers Bulls playoff matchups every time. Yeah, those old school ones were awesome. The ones with like Michael versus Reggie. Oh man, those were the days, Carlo. Yeah. Fiercely saying, sorry, fam. I'm stopping my Milbester moment. W stream. Well, I'm not even till noon, and I did start late, so I got some time. David saying, what about them Knicks? Anyway, where is Milbester? I banned him. He got banned finally because he was disrespectful towards the Raptors, trying to be all high mighty, talking down to us because we were in a low place. I was like, no, you don't do that. And I kicked him out. Wayne saying, I will agree with the lost perspective tonight with Kobe, Liberty, Freeman, Mogi, Bruce Brown, McDaniels. Yep, guaranteed loss. Hopefully on Oshai, Nwara. Dick, and Kelly. Others are just placeholders. Yeah. I mean, I hope so. I do hope we lose. I don't normally say that about the Raptors, and right now I am going to say it. Fiercely saying I blocked him. Yeah. Infamous is saying the issue y'all have is with NBA competition. And this is pretty fair. Competition committee and Adam Silver. It had nothing to do with LeBron. Next, y'all are going to blame LeBron for the weather and world hunger. Yeah, I will. It's totally LeBron's fault. He has so much money. Why isn't he feeding all the kids out there? It's totally LeBron's fault. Why wouldn't he do that? And the weather, oh my gosh, he has the weather machine himself. He's the richest man in the world. He bought it, and he's the one who controls all the weather in the world. I know I sound crazy. I know, Infamous. No, I agree with your point to a degree. Adam Silver is the puppet master who allows this to happen, as David Stern did for Michael before. But still, he is like, the thing I don't like is this. All right, I want to say this right now, Infamous. I hate that LeBron lives in this other reality where he does not understand what's going on. There's been what happened is, after the game, when people talk about the free throw discrepancy, he just says bullshit like, well, they should just stop fouling us. Like, he's not acknowledging this is happening. He lives in his own little world where he's like, oh, no. He denies it. And he really just acts like this isn't happening. That pisses me off because it's obvious that it's happening. And he reinforces it in the interviews. Like, there was one interview this year where it was so laughable, the favoritism that was shown the Lakers. And they asked LeBron about it. And he said, well, they should just stop doing this. And he really, truly believes all this bullshit. And that's part of the problem right there, is that he actually believes that they're right and that the calls are right and that the refs are not doing anything screwy. And he just tries to reinforce it from his side of, obviously he's wanting to believe all that because it's for him. It's for the Lakers. It's for their side. And he's reinforcing, even though he's lying. In fact, there was a clip, he said something after a game, and everybody in the comments afterwards this year was like, he's so cap. He is capping. He's capping left and right. So that's the thing. LeBron is capping about the reality about his situation with foul shots. He's capping after games all the time. So David's saying, oh, come on. And laugh out loud is a beaver. Ha ha. Racemo's saying, sorry if I wasn't clear. I can't watch LeBron. He annoys me. And David's saying, wait, I'm going to give Racemo a dunk for that. Favoritism. I'm going to show favoritism, anti-LeBron favoritism for Racemo Daily. He's getting his eighth dunk, number 8. Let's see. David's saying, wait, you're a Philly fan, right? What about Joel? He's just as painful to watch as LeBron. There's no Philly fans in here today, David. Everybody's a Raptor fan in here. I don't have any known Philly fans with us recently. They have not been coming here, especially since Joel went hurt. Yeah. Trevor's saying Bryce is better than his brother. I'm going to agree with this. I've seen Bryce James. I've seen the way his body is. I've seen some things about it. I think the younger James brother is actually going to be the one who may have a chance to make the NBA. I'm serious. I'm with Trevor on that. Racemo's saying, fine, Lex, 99 to 116. Okay, thank you. Just take the 0 out, Lex. All right, 116. Thank you, Edmund. Geez, that's a lot more manageable. The math is too high. The abacus in my head wouldn't go that far. Let's see. Cowboy saying later, Lex and Freaks. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go, Cowboy. And Chris is saying at Kareem, I like the lineup. It's why we need to draft size to let Kelly start. No, we don't want Kelly to start, guys. Grady as the 6th man. Gary, not sure he's back. I hope we draft Zach and Dick, and Baji can cut off Edie in the post. Yeah, I don't totally understand what you're trying to say there, but yeah, Kelly should not start. That's not a good idea. We got him as a backup center. Race Mode saying, I noticed Tom Duke on the chat. Glad to see him back. Yeah, Tommy's back. Tommy's been back here and there in the last couple months. Chris is saying the battery issue in cars won't improve much. There are only so many useful elements in the periodic table. Charge rates can only go so high due to heat. Green means massive drop in living standards. Oh my gosh, Chris. See, that's a lot of the propaganda that I've heard. All right, this is what I've heard. And you guys don't have to believe me. There's a company out there that is going to make the chips without having to mine them. They're figuring out a way to synthetically make it in the lab so that you do not have to extract the minerals from the ground. They're going to figure out how to make all this shit without having to get natural resources. Just so you know, there's a company that's a cutting edge and is looking for this. I've seen a TED Talk on this recently, where they are trying to get around the natural mineral resource of extraction from the ground to make all this stuff happen. Now, charge rates can only go so high due to the heat. Yeah, see, this is all propaganda that's being built out there to make people dissuade against it. Oh, if this is going to be a hassle, oh, this is going to be a trouble. You see, this is all bullshit, Chris. Once again, I will say, don't listen to anybody else. You don't even have to listen to me. Go talk to people that actually have the cars, and they can tell you all the pluses and minuses in realistic terms. And honestly, I mean, you're saying green means a massive drop in living standards. You know what else means a massive drop in living standards? Untenable heat. You know what else? Less oxygen. You know what else? A lot of species dying on this planet, actual life dying, living standards. You're talking about living standards. Okay, what's the trade off? Maybe we do need to live a little uncomfortable for a while. Maybe we've been a little too bourgeoisie with our fucking life and destroying this planet. Seriously. So you think that it's gonna make our living standard go out? It's gonna go down anyway. Trust me, because this fucking planet's gonna wreak havoc on us for fucking being little shitheads running around on this planet. So you're worried about living standard? Well, you know what? It could get a lot worse if we don't try and do some shit right now. Maybe take a couple lumps right now and changes in your life standard before fucking nobody can go outside because the fucking world is untenable to live in. You can't fucking walk around outside because it's too fucking crazy out there as far as heat, and we have to live in bubbles and shit. So, there may be a point where we have to be mole men, Chris. So would you rather sacrifice some of your living standard right now than fucking have to live in an underground city and not see the sun for generations later? That's what I'll say about that right there. That's what I'll say. Wayne saying, Alex, technology on electric cars are owned by fossil fuel companies. GM, as a leader, sold everything to oil companies. Gas companies are not actively against electric. They own it as well. Well, they are, and they are in some ways, Wayne. They are against it. They may be hedging the market to make sure they transition and stay in power in that aspect of things. Once again, that in some ways makes me really not trusted. In some ways, that they're taking their damn time. In some ways, they're going to still try and steer people towards the classic way because that's the way that they make the most money off of it. It's more expensive to do the things with the electric all around. Yes, because it's not status quo. If it was more mass produced and there was more going on in certain ways, it would be easier. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different ways you can look at this. Is which came first, the chicken or the egg? And is kind of like that. Now, I get it. The car companies are going to try and be on top of this and stuff like that, but they're not necessarily the oil companies. I get it. They're going to try and figure this shit out and try and game it for them to stay in their power in the status quo. Well, this is the thing. Once again, I'm very much standing on this. This whole stupid system of capitalism and what we live in right now is not right. And it's going to fall at some point. It seriously will. And it will be because of the unequal, the very, very widening gap in inequality and wealth, and also the ever-growing body of people that are just not having their lives' needs filled by the way the system's set up. That shit will just get disrupted. It will be like let them eat cake moment, French Revolution kind of shit. So they want to keep pushing. They want to keep doing this kind of stuff. They're going to get what they get eventually. Watch. They will. Now, if they want to control this, they want to take time to put it out and do this and do that, manipulate sediment. See, everything y'all are saying about electric is negative, and it's not a negative thing. Trust me. Y'all need to go and hang out with people that have electric cars or even drive one yourself and know the truth. There's a lot of misinformation out there is what I'm saying. Yeah. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, cheers, race mode. And Tom saying, can't stay away. I'm hooked on the Raptors. And he's got me in there too. Yeah, Tommy, you're awesome. We love you, guy. MSJ saying the carbon tax, it is dropping the living standards of Canadians. Given Canada is a 0.5% of the world's population, this country will have about zero impact. Oil is the most power-packed energy ever. Yeah, but that doesn't mean we should use it. And just like I would say, just because our system is the way it is, doesn't mean it should be this way. There's all kinds of things I could say. Just because that means that doesn't mean that. I mean, all right, you can be pro oil if you want, Chris, but I'm anti-oil, and I will promote electric every day, and we shouldn't even got on this route. Wayne, why'd you say that? Seriously, you didn't need to bring this up. I will go off on electric cars, just so y'all know. This is something that I feel very, very strongly about, and I do really think that there's a lot of powers out there that are trying to shape y'all's mind to be negative about it, and I wish that y'all would wake up and understand that. Is what I'm saying. Wayne's saying we're on the same page. However, $25,000 for a battery, same technology as your cell phone. Only drive BMW, $140,000. Don't think so. Capitalists promote electric, Lex. They're here for it. Musk equals Tesla equals no. All right, there's a lot in this comment. I want to make sure I break it down fairly. I mean, obviously, with innovation, prices will go down. If they will figure it out, and they can figure out how to do it mass produced. They will figure it out. They will figure it out. It's over time. Let's see. You only drive BMW 140,000. Don't think so. I don't understand that completely. You just drive that brand. That's the only kind of car you will drive. Now, do they have an electric? I don't know. I don't know enough. They may have an electric. I'll bet you they do. Capitalists promote electric, Lex. They're for it. Yeah, I'm not saying that that's a distinction. Like these are two different things we're talking about: electric versus my anti-capitalist stance. Tesla, if you don't like Musk and you don't want to buy a Tesla, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Chris said, I have an engineering degree, did a master's degree in environmental educations, lots of hopes and dreams, but all environmentalists really think like Malthus. Read Murray Bookchin for insight. Well, I mean, listen, I'm going to say this. I'm going to the natural world very soon, and I'm going to be going even more into it. I may get even more radical, guys. I may get even more anti like civilization. That's part of why I'm going out there, is because I'm deciding I'm taking myself out of the capitalist system as much as possible. I'm going out there to homestead. I'm going out there to get my own food myself. I have my own well. I'll probably get my own solar panels. I'm going to try and go off the grid because I'm sick of this shit. I don't even want to participate in anything that's going on with the system that we have at this point. I think the economic system, the subjugation of most of the people in this world is fucked up. And you know what? In some ways, I've been taught that if you don't agree with something, don't participate in it. And I'm deciding I'm opting out as much as I realistically can. I know that I will have to do certain things and be involved in society in certain ways. But as much as I can get out of the fucking system and everything that's involved in it, I will. I will. So that's where I'm at with this, guys, just so you know. And I'm going to be very going much into environmental stuff because I'm going to be like really being a very natural with nature kind of person when I get out to that property. And when I'm sitting out there, I'm, in some ways I can control things to an extent to be able to live a life, hopefully, where I can, be a little bit more detached from the bullshit of downtown Toronto. Let's just put it that way. Fiercely saying, thanks, Chris. We'll look for it. Yeah, check out what Chris is saying. I'm sure it's all good reading and good stuff. And you know what? You have a good education on these subjects, so I should listen to you a bit. Yeah. Let's see. Wayne saying carbon tax is right-wing propaganda. Issue is the oil companies. We bastardize Weston and company. We totally neglect the oil companies whose product is in every item produced. Name me one oil executive. Yeah, you're talking about how we go after the grocery people in Galen Weston right now, and we don't go after the oil people. Well, they keep their names anonymous as much as possible. A lot of these CEOs that are making crazy amounts of money in all kinds of ways, yeah, their day of reckoning will come. Honestly, there's already enough rabble rousing. A lot of people are talking about it. They're talking about the record profits for corporations while people are struggling with their living standard. And there's some certain individuals at the very top of places like Netflix that are making like $450 million a year. It's ridiculous. And it's going to come around and things are going to happen one way or another. They can either do it civilly through justice, through the legal system, or just do what's right with politics and adjudicate it. Like, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, they want a wealth tax. And that could really go a long way to evening things out and making this world a better place. That's the nonviolent way of doing things. There is another way to do things. And I don't think those people up there understand that people are getting pushed more and more to that position where they're like, yeah. I rode on an Uber the other day to the Coach's Open House with Adriana, and I talked to the Uber driver all the way there, and I said, look, this is just messed up. You have a regular job, this guy was telling me, and you're doing a 9 to 5, but you have to do an hour or two of Uber before your regular job just to make it work so you can have a little shitty apartment above the St. Louis market in downtown Toronto. That's messed up. And what I'm saying is everybody's feeling the same way. It's just that they don't want us to connect and understand it. When I say when the shit hits the fan, the bat signals in the air, we all know which side we're on. And that's all I'm going to say is as far as things, if people can get more organized and collected against the very much powers that be at the very top that are fucking greedy as fuck, we will. And there will be a let them eat cake moment. Seriously, there will be. There will be. It's either you do it the nonviolent way through the system with the politicians and you fucking pay your right share, or we fucking will come and get it eventually. That's what I'm saying. People will get that organized and they'll get that pissed off at some point. Carlos saying, this is why even as a software developer, I'm not afraid of AI. We need to engineer our way out of these bullshit we ourselves created. AI is essential to that, but go Raptors. Yeah, it's a weird double-edged sword. It's like anything, Carlo. AI can be used for good and for bad. And initially, it's going to be used for a lot of bad because it's going to need regulation. And there's all kinds of different crazy things AI can be done with. But I do agree with what you're saying. The innovation of it, if we can utilize it in the correct ways, it can be very, very helpful. You're exactly right. Mike's here. Good to see Logical Raptors fanatic. I'm going to go ahead and give him a dunk just for being here. Mike, we miss you. Very happy to see you just come in for a second, say hi. We're going to give you the Emmanuel Quickly fifth dunk of the season for you. He's saying manufacturing synthetic materials have a greenhouse cost too. Natural elements from plants or animals are less costly, but ethics come in and change how people think about using animal products. Well, listen, I don't know. I'm not smart enough and I'm not into this subject enough to be able to just kind of explain exactly what's on the cutting edge of this. But I would just say that trust human innovation, that in some ways we're going to figure out a way to do stuff. This is how we've always done it throughout the history of time. And once again, I don't like how y'all are so negative against the whole idea of electric vehicles and us driving more electric in the future. I think y'all should keep an open mind to it and really try and remember there's a lot of very rich people out there trying to shape your mind on how you feel about it. That's all I will say. Fiercely giving props to Logical being here. Yeah, I'm really happy Logical's here. I wish I'd rather talk about other things than cars with Logical, like the salary cap. Happy to read you, Logical. That's right. Wayne saying, you're totally right, Lex. They bought the technology and buried it for 20 years. That fucker Musk kind of pushed the envelope and forced them to adapt. Electric vehicles cost more. Lifespan is less. We'll see if we had done this earlier and it was more mainstream, we wouldn't be in this place. If the Ford and the GM and all those fuckers hadn't held it back in like the 80s and the 70s, we would have had more development in it and more cost effective for mass production and mass usage by now. It's just that it's been held back for so fucking long with lawsuits, subterfuge, confusing propaganda, just telling people they're crazy for wanting an electric car. Like in the 80s, you're crazy. You want an electric car? What the fuck is wrong with you? You know, they even appeal to people's machismo. It's like, oh, you drive electric car. That's for pussies. It's like, I want my car to be loud and make a lot of noise and have fucking black smoke coming out of the back of it. You know, there's all kinds of dumbass ways they've appealed to people and said, oh, your car is shittier. Your car will be slower. You know, they get in the ego of the man and say, oh, you drive an electric car. Oh, I'll kill your ass on the road because I've got a gas burning car like normal. You guys got to understand how much conditioning that has been done to us in all kinds of different areas. And on this topic, there's definitely been conditioning since we were little, just so you know. I appreciate you, Wayne. I know you brought up the subject, and I didn't know exactly where you stood on it, but you know, it is what it is. In some ways, we're talking about something we don't talk about all the time. We'll talk about it today. Fiercely saying work meeting at noon, W Stream fam, and let's go tonight. Yeah. And Mike's saying fiercely, I'm around. I don't always write, but I'm hearing you guys is super good times. Mike, I love that you're still watching me from time to time and catching up and seeing what we're talking about. Man, you've been such a great person around our channel in the past. I highly encourage you coming back as much as you can. All right, let me do a wrap up. We're just after noon, and I did start late. So if you want to get a score in, do it right now. Wayne's saying, remember, Lex, this channel is about life. That's why you're great. All right, Wayne, I appreciate that. I feel like sometimes people want to watch the show and just want basketball stuff. And sometimes when I get political or I start talking about other subjects, it's a turn off. But I'm willing to take that risk. And I think you're right. This is a channel about life. You're right, Wayne. You're right. Country Kong saying, I watch a lot of World War II movies. There used to be a secret radio operators who supported resistance groups that led to the liberation of France. You remind me of one of those broadcasters. Fight that power, Lex. You know, that's very touching of you to say that, JP. If there's anything that I want to do right now is I just want to make a difference. And even if it's on a small scale, I'll take what amount I do. If I can do even bigger things in the future because I have a different platform, I will. And I will try and get out a voice that maybe isn't tainted by just wanting to make my next buck or worried about somebody coming after me because I say something that is going to anger a very powerful something. I don't give a shit about that. I'm crazy and I will say things that could get me in trouble with people. But I feel like it's important for voices like this to be out there, Country Kong. I really do appreciate that. That means a lot to me, man. That's a huge compliment. All right, let's go over it again. The injuries for today. Scotty's out. Jakob's out. Chris is out. RJ's out. Emmanuel's out. Jonte is out. DJ Carton is out. All of them are out. So we ain't getting nobody coming back, but Gary is still playing. But no Jonte. I wish Jonte was playing. He's the one I wish was playing. Brooklyn Nets, they have some injuries too. Their list is as such: Dariq Whitehead out, Ben Simmons out, Cam Johnson out, Keita Bates Diop out, and Dennis Smith Jr. out. They took the guy who was day-to-day off the list, so he's actually healthy. I forget who it was earlier. Our referees today are Kevin Scott, Michael Smith, and Brandon Adair. Brandon and Kevin favor the Raptors, and Michael Smith favors the Nets, just so you know. All right, let me see. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? Was there NBA news that I wanted to talk about? I don't think so. Nothing that important. I talked about Westbrook yesterday. Oh, there's birthdays today, guys. All right, we've got a very important birthday today, and I don't know if any of y'all know whose birthday it is. It's a very, very important birthday. I want to see if anybody knows who it is. Who do you think's birthday it is? Is maybe one of the most important birthdays ever for Raptors. I'll say right now, happy birthday to William Cunningham. He's turned 50 years old today. William Cunningham, former, I think he's a former Raptors assistant coach. William Cunningham. He's not a player. William Cunningham was an assistant coach for us back in the day. Also, happy birthday to Marco Bellinelli, former Raptor. He is, he was born in 86, so he's 38 years old today, Marco Bellinelli. And there's one big one huge birthday today. I don't know if anybody's going to guess it. It is the GOAT. It's our guy who's playing for the Sixers right now. Happy birthday, Kyle Lowry. It is Kyle's birthday today, guys. He is, he's 38 also. He's the same age as Marco Bellinelli. Did y'all know that Kyle Lowry has the exact same birthday as Marco Bellinelli? Well, they're both 38 today. Happy birthday, Kyle. You don't look a year older than 22. You really don't. You baby-faced assassin. That's right. Our GOAT is birthday today. So we're definitely going to celebrate Kyle Lowry's birthday today for sure. All right, y'all, the playoffs are starting this week in our Yahoo Fantasy League, and the matchups are set. And it looks like, because I lost to David, and it didn't matter that I didn't play Jonas the other day. He still beat me by more. The matchups will be me against Peter. I'm playing Peter in the first round in the 7th seed. Meredith is playing Duke Rocks. So we've got the champions in the first round against each other. The WNBA champion versus the champion from last week, Jason Duke versus MK. Then we got Cunnin 2BA against the Dick Picks, JP. And then Raymond Jacob is playing David Saborin in the first round as the 8th seed versus the 1st seed. So good luck to the playoff teams. If you are not in the playoffs, there is consolation matchups that are happening this week also, I believe, or maybe not. Do I see a consolation? Yeah, there's a consolation. So you guys have matchups, I think, or maybe not. No, I don't think they do give you guys matchups. So y'all are done. That's weird. So basically, if you're one of the 8 teams in the playoffs, good job. Congratulations. Y'all did a really good job. Fantastic records all year. And y'all really did. You really deserve to get the postseason. Look at David getting 19-2 for the season. That's a fantastic record considering the competition we had this year. Fantastic record. So good luck tonight, guys, and starting the playoffs. All right, let me get out of here, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. Whatever our views are, whether we oppose or support, have the same views, we all have to learn in this world. It's important for everybody to be tolerant of differing opinions. That and one thing has happened in this world in the last few years with Trump and everything, it's very hard for people to get along if they don't see eye to eye. And I feel like that's a big problem, that it's very important for people to keep humanity and stop versusing each other or othering each other just because they don't have the same beliefs. And if anything on this channel, I'm going to try and walk the walk. And I'll be like, you know what? I'm okay with people that love LeBron. I'm okay with people that have different opinions than me. I'm okay with people that are, they don't necessarily believe in electric. I have to allow for differing perspectives. And the end all be all shouldn't be everybody thinks everything exactly the same way. So any area in your life where you can practice getting along with people that don't agree with you, I really think that's an important strength for people to have in today's world, because a lot of people don't have it at this point. And if you want to get further in life, being able to disagree with people and agree to disagree is actually a super strength at this point, because there's a lot of people that can't at this point. All right, y'all. I appreciate you, everybody. I got all of everybody's score predictions, and we'll see the game tonight. I'll say this. All right, wait, let me do this real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event marquee matchup here at Scotiabank Arena here in beautiful downtown Toronto. Tonight we have a matchup between Dennis Schroeder of Germany, Team Germany, versus Kelly Olynyk of Team Canada. And today it will be a preliminary Olympic event where they will be doing a different event from the Olympics than basketball. They will be doing, let's see, what's a good event for them? They're going to play. They're going to play Olympic darts. I don't know. Why not? Let's just have them play darts. So there's your main event marquee matchup. And Race Mode saying, I'm number 18 in fantasy. Do I win the first round pick? No, I won't be doing any kind of like lottery or draft order for next year, but we will probably have a draft again next year. We'll just have to see where you randomly get. So no, there's no winning. There's no winning and tanking, Edmund. I'm sorry. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's really weird not being able to see myself during the stream. I don't like it, and I hope my camera works tomorrow. That'd be great. Reaction tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Let's go, Raptors. I don't want y'all to win, but if you do win, I understand, is what I'll say. I understand if you do win tonight. In some ways, break that streak. I get it.